Let go of the time you thought that skunk was a cat, or when you pulled into the garage with your son's bike on top of the car.
Love it. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern on a Tuesday night, and saying hello to everybody over in the Pacific time zone, 7 p.m. right now. Excuse me, 6. Damn it. 7 o'clock in Ted Guinness's time zone. On this beautiful 11th day, and I'm using the word beautiful in a very sardonic manner right now. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, back to basics, live from the Beyond Ringside studios in beautiful Birmingham, USA. Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Hoping everybody's had a good Tuesday. Want to send a special shout out. Paul Wells, longtime Beyond Ringside listeners are going to remember that name. Paul was originally slated to join us this evening on the opening segment, but unfortunately, due to the factor of the winter storm that's going through the state of Mississippi, where he is right now, Paul unable to join us tonight. And like to send a very special shout out and howdy do to the gentleman joining me on the phone right now, longtime tag team partner, the one, the only Mark Mabo Bowman. Mabo, what's up?
What?
Thank you, Stone Cold. Slated to be joined in about 29 minutes by the Oracle of Ominous tag team partner, the Wicked Nemesis, also the host of the To Be Determined show on Wednesday nights here on Beyond Ringside Radio. There is a rumor that there could be a Cos sighting. Not Bill Cosby, Robert Cosper. A little bit of a difference there. And at the top of the 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern time hour, slated to be joined by country jacked Corey Hollis right here on Back to Basics. You know, leading off, for as many times as all of us on this station, the entire BR family of shows, will lead off by saying something about what is being done wrong, or what we think should go a different direction. It is just as fair and just as necessary to be able to stand up and say when something is done right. And in my opinion, there was one segment in particular last night on Monday Night Raw. First off, I went ahead and, for those who have me on Facebook, I gave the overall show a B. Not a B minus, not a B plus, a B. It was a good show. Or as Triple H would say, it was a good little outing. But in my opinion, it almost got a little bit of a higher grade because of one segment. It was after the U.S. title match between Ambrose and Mark Henry. First off, glad to see Mark Henry back. It was the showdown between the Shield and the Wyatts. And in my humble opinion, that was probably one of the best moments that has been put on Raw, the best build moments, the best tease moments they've had on Raw in quite a while. Mabo, come on in, your thoughts on it. Agree or disagree?
No, I mean, it was great. You know, it was not much was said. It was definitely, you know, it was the whole build thing, it was the whole intensity, and I thought it was great. You obviously knew something wasn't going to happen because they're probably not going to let them physically. I mean, there might be some like backstage sneak attacks, if even that. But I mean, you know, I thought it was great. And it was all the like young talent, you know, the young up and coming talent, who we've only seen in the past, you know, 2 years at most. So I mean, every one of those guys, straight out of FCW. 4 of them. Well, 3 of them definitely out of the independents.
Yep.
Eric Rowan out of Japan. And then Bray being a product of NXT, FCW.
Right.
Same thing with Roman Reigns. And, you know, that, and, you know, a lot of people are also ignoring that Bray being 3rd generation, Roman being 2nd generation. So, I thought it was really good, man. You know, it was definitely well done, and it's definitely gonna help with the storytelling and the build up to the actual match. Now, what happens during the actual match, who knows? But it's gonna be good regardless.
I'm really thinking that it will be. And before I go any further, do me a favor, give everybody a status report on your shoulder.
I have 2 of them.
I know you just had work done on one of them, sir.
Yeah, it was last week.
I know. How's everything coming along?
Dude, you don't reveal your weaknesses, man.
You don't have any... There's nobody I know of that has a Mabo beef.
That you know of.
Okay, we're not going to give away anything to your enemies. I just
you don't know.
Okay. I
Can't
didn't
trust none of these people, man. Don't trust them.
Tully Blanchard may come up from behind and hit you with a baseball bat before it's over with.
I'm telling you, next thing you know, my hand's freaking, athletic taped to a damn truck. And Ole, Arn, and Tully are beating the hell out of it with a bat.
I wonder how many people realize...
Got that reference?
Yeah, I did. You forget I'm old enough. I can get that reference.
I know you do, but I'm telling the rest of them.
They'll look it up. Trust me on that one.
You think?
Possibly. That's what the internet's here for, just to piss everybody off. Now, I wonder, and this is something that we've never talked about. This is something that hasn't been brought up any time that I've been on air. I wonder how many people have genuinely caught the silent shout out in Bray Wyatt's name.
Wait, what do you mean?
Easy. What's his initials?
Shut your mouth. Seriously. There you go again, thinking that the WWE gives a crap about us and they're listening to us and yada, yada, yada.
No, Bray Wyatt, BW, Barry Windham, his uncle.
Oh, I thought you told me. For some reason. Look, dude, I'm still rolling. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I'm rolling on these meds right now. I figured VR.
And if
I'm so tripping on these meds right now.
And if you change around the A and the R in Bray, guess what? You got
dyslexia?
Pretty much. No, I just wonder, because it's something that I've never seen anybody say on the internet. It's something I've never heard anybody say on any show that I've listened to, any live radio or podcast. And it's something that's it's been hanging with me for the longest time, and I finally just got around to saying something about it. I wonder how many people genuinely realize there is a subtle shout out in the name of Bray Wyatt, BW, his uncle.
I think it's just a coincidence. Dude.
I don't think... How many times does Vince do something that's a coincidence?
I just think it's a coincidence.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Now, I do appreciate the fact that Betty White managed to get the I'm going to kick some ass.
See, there's initials again, BW.
Okay, thank you very much.
They're probably paying tribute to, Betty White was paying tribute to Barry Windham.
Ass.
It's you, bro, not me, man.
Okay.
You're the one. You started it with your conspiracy theories.
It's not a conspiracy theory. I think it actually is a classy thing if they did it. If they use the initials for Bray Wyatt as the subtle shout out, because Barry's always been in Vince's good graces. I don't think Barry and Vince ever had a falling out.
You and Michael Cole with your conspiracy theories.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Now, here's the question. For as much as when it's the whole gang here, like it's me, you, Wick, and Ted, every once in a while, we will talk over each other. We will say something thinking that the other person has either finished a sentence or don't give a damn what they're saying.
I think it's usually that part right there.
I know it. How many times... this is going to become a running gag with me. And I'm going to go back over the last couple of weeks because there's times when I have nothing better to do with my time and I get bored with internet porn. And count how many times John Layfield will walk over and talk over Michael Cole.
And the King.
He does it to Cole a ton more than he does it to King.
I think it's honestly, I think Bradshaw is drunk. I'm not lying. Listen to him. Listen to his speech. Michael Cole. Michael. Wow, look at him. Michael. Wow.
But I'm serious. JBL will walk over Michael Cole, and it's like there. And when Cole genuinely gets pissed because he shuts up for a second. He stops talking for about 15 seconds, and then comes right back in. So that's actually going to be something that I'm going to challenge myself to do next week on Raw. I'm not going to go back over this week's because I've already watched it. I've already made my show notes. But I'm going to go ahead and use starting next week. I'm going to count how many times JBL.
Hey, start over, dude. Like you hung up on me or something.
I didn't hang up on you.
Like all of a sudden it just went ring, 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 ring.
I don't know. It could be the storm could be messing with the internet.
Okay. I mean, I don't have to count how many times JBL does. I mean, he does enough because he's an alcoholic.
Well, I mean, there have been other subtle nuances displayed through Raw, and believe me, JBL talking over somebody is not subtle. Want to take a moment to say thank you to everybody who has been listening in via the replays on BeyondRingside.com and through our podcast replays. See, for some people, there is a difference. Please remember what we're doing right now at 8:10 p.m. Central Time on February the 11th is called Live Internet Radio. If you're listening to this on a replay, guess what? It's called a podcast. There's a difference. This is Stacey Kasem, and now back to the countdown. And, of course, don't forget our podcast is available by subscription through iTunes. And, of course, you can also take a look over at the media page over on BeyondRingside.com and find recent episodes and actually back episodes as well as complete interviews. I mentioned this on Sunday. I've been going through some additional hard drives that I've located as well as CDs and DVDs that I've been putting stuff on for storage, and found some classic episodes and interviews, and I'm working to get those uploaded as time permits. And with everything that I've got, I'm trying to get at least 1 or 2 episodes or 1 episode and 1 interview up per week on the media page. And for those who are familiar with a site called archive.org, that is one of the places I'm using to host, or the primary place, the official home of the W3, home of the Wayback Machine for the internet. They got some great things in their library. You know, I am watching part of the replay from Raw because every once in a while I'll catch something the third time through. And I remembered something, and this is something none of us really discussed as we were kicking off 2014. We've talked about some of our favorite moments all the way across the board from 2013. But I was going through, and I have a new number. I have basically a new addition that I'm changing something out of my top 5. As I'm looking at Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler in the ring, I cannot help but remember the night after WrestleMania, April 8th, 2013. ADR, Jack Swagger in the ring. Swagger worked on the ankle and the knee. Alberto held on to the title. And then Dolph Ziggler's music hits, and that place comes unfreaking glued. And then they put together, I think they go for a good maybe 3-4 minutes. And ADR gets the cross arm breaker on Ziggler. Ziggler looks like he's tapping. Go from there. He takes a look down, remembers the ankle, starts pounding on the ankle of ADR. And then turns around, gets the zigzag, and comes out with the win and picks up the World Heavyweight Championship. When you get a crowd that is that vocal, that hot, that passionate. No, I'm not talking about midget porn there either. Thanks for playing, Mabo. I know where your mind's going sometimes.
Actually, no, you don't.
Okay. That's true. You don't do midget porn. Neither do I. I just thought it would make a funny reference, and I was wrong. Yes, I admitted I was wrong. But that moment, with everything in play, in ring, in the crowd, all of the above, the announce team getting everything right, you can't overlook a moment like that. And that's something, that moment, believe it or not, was something none of us really brought up when it came to the end of 2013. I mean, how does that moment factor in what you look at as the highlights of last year, Mark?
Well, much like, I guess, the WWE just negated the existence of Dolph Ziggler.
Negated?
Yeah. I don't give a damn about Dolph Ziggler. I mean, I like him. He's a good guy.
Do you think that the problem that he had with the concussions, because I know he had 2 and 3 months basically put a screaming halt on the push that he'd been getting?
No, I think he opened his mouth and said some things, and somebody didn't like him, and now he's getting punished for it.
And
That's exactly what the thing is.
Yeah, let there be no doubt. Every once in a while, all of us say something stupid. Me in particular. I'm good at doing stuff like that, aren't I? Aw, dude, come on. I gave you a setup on a gold platter.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't take it. I'm not going to play folly to your quibbles there, buddy boy.
You know, a friend of mine brought up the concept last night during Raw that surely they wouldn't give us a real John Cena versus Randy Orton match on Monday Night Raw last night.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, considering the fact that he had just done the honors, that Orton had done the honors to Daniel Bryan the previous week, that he went over Christian on Friday Night SmackDown. And for the record, I called the sequence with the exception of I thought that they would go ahead and put Sheamus this week and Cena next week on Raw. I knew that they were going to put Christian and Cesaro both on SmackDown.
Yeah, because that's their respective brands.
The brand extension's not in play anymore. It doesn't work.
Yes, it does. That's why you only... Oh, boy.
Okay, enlighten me.
Dude, there's certain people who are still brand exclusive.
Okay.
That you're really not going to see on Raw. Their storylines aren't going to evolve on Raw. They're going to stick to being on SmackDown. So, it's a given, dude.
See,
the only reason why Cesaro's got the crossover is because he's in the title hunt now. I mean, and they want Zeb. The reason why he's showing up on Raw now is because one, he's tag team, and two, they're trying to get Zeb anywhere they can because Zeb is like a natural heat magnet.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, considering last night Christian was originally brand exclusive to SmackDown, just like Sheamus, and they had him in a tag team match last night on Raw, though. See, this is where I get confused. I mean, legitimately confused sometimes. Because they'll do one thing 1 minute, and then they'll come back either 2 weeks later or 6 months later, and they'll completely and totally redo it to where it negates what, there's that word again, it negates what they did 6 months ago.
Well, that's them. They don't even know what they're doing anymore, to be honest.
Now, WrestleMania, not that far away, but Elimination Chamber. Based on what you've seen, does the pay-per-view look that much more viable at this point?
I mean, not really.
Not even with the way that they managed to actively build up the Shield versus the Wyatts?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like a gimme anyway, so...
Okay, if you had to make a guess right now, we're going to do predictions before that pay-per-view kicks into play. But who do you think they would actually actively put over right now? The Wyatts or the Shield?
Oh. To be honest with you, I don't really know.
Well, I mean, you got pros and cons on both sides, honestly. And if you put over the Shield, that means you have to basically push back the breakup.
Or, I mean, not really. I mean, if you put over the Shield, it's kind of not really. The only one that would stand to lose in that whole instance would be Roman Reigns, since they're trying to push him to the moon.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, you might as well just go ahead and count him out. So with the pushing of the Wyatts, Bray loses any kind of momentum he's got going in against Cena at WrestleMania. That's alleged.
Allegedly, yeah.
But it also, if the Wyatts do go over, that's just going to further the whole breakup.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to both sides, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around the entire situation right now. I mean, I'm looking at the overall thing. Speaking of wrapping the head around, the date is getting closer. And it's going
525 14.
Yes, it is. Perfect, dude. You knew where I was going with that. Thank you.
Actually, no, I didn't. I was just going to bust it in anyway.
No, that's where I was going with that. And actually, you're in conversations with a couple of the stars at Chikara, some of the very notable personalities up there, and we're working to try. And you are you're working to. I give credit where credit is due. You've always had a great working relationship as far as getting people here on BR, and I'm greatly thankful for that. I'm in a big way, thank you. And I know that we talked off air that you're working to try to get some of the stars of Chikara in before the launch date, right?
We tried. Actually, let's see if old Bryce has left me a message. Oh, goodness gracious.
While you're taking a look at that, I'm going to slide this one in real quick. That's what she said. Special thank you to Lightning Lee Peak for coming on with us last week here on Back to Basics. I had a great opportunity, and matter of fact, it works out almost perfectly because I'm come to find out that through that 6 degrees of separation, he does have a direct tie-in right now with Country Jack Corey Hollis, who just happens to be coming on this week, and want to say a very special hello to good friends of ours in Team Name, because I'm sure a lot of the faces have changed. And I'm referring to our good friends and family over at the Tragic City Rollers, Birmingham's.
How they been doing?
Doing pretty good. And matter of fact, Lee Peak, who was on with us last week, he and I go way back in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes or another, I'm thankful for the fact that he actually acknowledges that. He is also.
Bryce has looked at the message, but he's not responded.
Okay. Lee actually is one of the referees for TCR. They've got a away game coming up, and they also have a home game coming up during the month of March.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and amazingly enough, Lee came on with us last Tuesday night, and that was the night after they had stopped the open tryouts.
I don't think you would have made it this year, Eddie.
No, I don't think I would have either. Although it would have been cool for me and you to drop back over like we did a couple of years ago. I know that you were in no condition to go.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude, I was lit up. So, no. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and make this show completely illegal now. I have Percocets left. Anybody wanting to buy any? $3 a pill. Just go ahead and email FastEddieLane at BeyondRingside@gmail.com.
We're fine, Mabo on Twitter.
Yes, that's at FastEddieLane.
I still have a Twitter account?
Huh?
Do I still have a Twitter account?
I don't know, do you?
I think it's there. I just haven't used it.
Or at Beyond Ringside. Go ahead and tweet.
Okay, that works. There you go. Get the company.
At Beyond Ringside if you want to buy some Percocets. I also have Toradol and some anti-inflammatories.
Damn, Mabo VS Pharmacy.
And I have I have nausea pills. I don't know why they gave them to me. They said the pain might make me nauseous, but so yeah, if you got a trip and you don't want to buy Dramamine, I'll sell you some nausea pills. Let's see what else I got. I could probably steal my roommate's moonshine off the top of the fridge.
Ooh,
those
dude.
go well with Percocet.
Yeah, really. Is it straight ahead or is it apple?
Both.
Nice.
So if any of you guys want to get stupid enough and take
Percocets and moonshine at the same time?
Go right ahead. There's one less idiot walking around this earth that I have to deal with.
Either that or just go ahead and just, give me a joint and blank check to Crystal. A great way to kill me off there. Took a look at the Crystal hamburger place.
I didn't know hookers took checks.
East Coast White Castle.
I know what crystals are. I want some too right now.
I just finished eating.
Huh?
I just finished eating.
I want some Grape Pico and like a Oreo pie.
That actually sounds good.
I know, right? Anyway, what were you saying about your car?
Actually, I was looking in the chat room real quick, and Daryl B brought up the Wyatts as the ones. Now, hold on. I'm got myself discombobulated because I started thinking about food, and I'm looking down at a green monster saying I need another one. Somebody asked me on Sunday night show if I was stoned. No, I'm not, but I really wish I was every once in a while. I haven't smoked it in over 4 years.
That's because he hadn't been able to afford it in 4 years.
That's pretty much the truth. Daryl, if I could ask you to elaborate, was it the Wyatts had more to gain or the Wyatts had more to lose? I think it was Wyatts had more, would benefit the Wyatts more to get the push, or they'd get the damage, all of the above. My brain just has gone totally nuts. Speaking of nuts, it's nuts that this has not happened sooner. Lita being inducted in WWE Hall of Fame. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, whether it should happen sooner or not, I mean, she hadn't really been gone that long. And then, I mean, you knew she wasn't going to go in before Trish. So, plus WWE's running out of broads to induct anyway. So, I mean, like, who are they going to induct next year?
Lee, good to see you in the chat room tonight.
Is Sable been nominated there or put in there yet?
Honestly, I don't remember, and I've just never been a big fan of Sable.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, when she first started, yeah, because, I mean, that's before she started getting overly enhanced surgically, not just in the breasticles, but in the face, too. But, yeah, now she just looks shiny. Like, you can definitely see the plastic starting to shine through. But, I mean, other than Sable, like, maybe Jackie?
That would be a good one.
Has Luna been inducted yet?
I think she has.
You sure?
I'm not really sure. I don't see, for the record, I really wish, and the rumor flew around that Vince was actually going to physically work on the concept of seeing where a WWE Hall of Fame physical structure could be.
Oh, they are. They're going to put it in Orlando, you know, because that's where the Performance Center is.
Okay.
And there's word going around that it's going to be at Universal Studios. Who else is at Universal Studios?
The Mickey Mouse Club?
No, shut your mouth forever trying to confuse the two.
I'm just looking for something that's been completely and totally irrelevant for an extended period of time. Oh, TNA. Okay.
Yeah. So
Victoria, I think I know who else is in the chat room. No, that would be a Terra reference.
no, I don't think she'll ever be. I mean, I don't want to say that nothing against her, but I just don't think she'll ever be inducted.
Now, of course, you know that means Betty White is going to be inducted in the Celebrity Wing next year.
Probably. I wonder if they'll. And this is not me actually. This is not me taking a shot or saying anything in poor taste like I normally do. This is like a legit question: is do you think they would induct a woman?
Highly unlikely.
Well, I mean, I can understand, you know.
He who shall not be named?
Voldemort.
Yeah, that too.
No, I mean, look, I say what you will about Chris Benoit. I'll be honest with you. Even he was a great technical wrestler, but Hall of Fame worthy anyway. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, he should be put in the Hall of Fame. He should be put in the Hall of Fame. Why? Why?
Now, let me
there's other small guys who, you know, wrestle just as well as he did. You know, I mean, hell, look at Mysterio.
True.
So, because he was a good wrestler? I'm not saying that, so that means everybody will have their opinion on him. But I just don't, honestly, I've never seen him as a Hall of Fame person anyway. So, whereas woman actually really did have a pretty decent, as far as a woman in the business, she actually had a pretty good run.
Agreed. Looking over in the chat room real quick, Daryl B makes the reference that Lita should have gone in before Trish. Amen. In my humble opinion, amen.
Well, I mean, as far as like in-ring work and stuff, yeah, but I mean, you know that they're going to go with the pretty blonde with the jiggly cans, and
she didn't jiggle. She was, as you would put it,
delicious.
No, artisurgically enhanced.
Well, I mean, but still, you knew Trish was going to go before Lita. You can have your little opinions or whatever, but who the better wrestler? Lita.
Yes.
But, and I would say as so far as even at the time, coupled with the Hardys, more marketable, Lita. But after the breakup with the Hardys, I mean, what more, you know, she had the run with Edge, but, you know, Trish was pretty much marketable from the time she broke out all the way till the time she left. So as far as marketability, Trish was, you know, in my opinion, she was more marketable. But once you got past the Attitude Era, so to speak, what more was there for Lita? marketability wise. Never took away from her wrestling ability. And then sadly, when she broke her neck,
doing the movie,
a TV show, Dark Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when she broke her neck, that even kind of messed her up even more. So, I think honestly, if she hadn't broke her neck, she would have. She could have probably done a lot more and have been even more wildly successful. I mean.
Oh, I'll agree to that.
Yeah, she was wildly successful anyway.
I think somebody's scrambling eggs. Do me a favor. Let me hit the chat room real quick. A couple of things I want to run down. The person who popped in with the name Victoria for Hall of Fame. Good choice, honestly, all the way across the board in my book. But that's going to be a back and forth thing because of the backstage stuff. And I agree. Woman should go before Benoit. Okay, I'll give you that one. Outside business aside.
Wait, hold on. Woman did go before.
Hold on, Hall of Fame. Good choice, honestly, all the way across the board in my book. But that's going to be a back and forth. Deja vu. I agree. Woman should go before Benoit. Okay, I'll give you that one. Outside business aside.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on, I'm going to kill. Do me a favor, folks.
Whoa.
Honestly, all the way across the board in my book. But that's going to be a back. Bear with me, folks. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back in 5 on Beyond Ringside. Back to basics as soon as Cosper turns down his playback.
This is Christina Bonnieri, and you're locked in with Beyond Ringside.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a pep talk that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You can improve your future. Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and for free classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. If you stack their desks one atop the other, it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. That's 12 Empire State Buildings. But what's truly scary is that another stack is going up tomorrow. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
I want to finish
school
and then go to
college
to be able to
graduate
and have
the future
my parents couldn't have. Because I know that
going to college
is the best thing I can do for my
future.
The words of a parent help to build the future of a child. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund has the information to help your kids go to college. Visit yourwordstoday.org or call 1-877-HSF-8711. Sponsored by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
You might know me, I'm 50 Cent. You may follow my tweets, my Facebook friends. Odds are fewer than 6 degrees separate us. We're that close. What's crazy is 1 in 6 don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends. Hunger's too close for us to ignore. So visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank to see how you can make a difference. From one close friend to another, let's do this. I'm 50 Cent, and together we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If your walls could talk, what would they say? I have sent children into fits of rage.
I am responsible for a child's speech impediment.
I am the reason a child can't read. Just because you can't see lead paint doesn't mean it's not on walls, doors, windows, and sills. Today, lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org or call 800-424-LEAD.
Brought to you by the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning, EPA, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You feel petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments, not knowing what to do. You do nothing. But if you do something, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about your options. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Psst, hey, I'm down here at your feet.
Wait, you're a basketball.
Yes, the basketball. The kids left me here a long time ago. Man, I miss flying through the air and hearing those shouts of joy. Could you give me a little air and remind the kids of how fun I still am?
Okay.
Great, let's get bouncing.
As Native American parents and caregivers, our encouragement to healthy lifestyles for our kids is helping them get outside and play. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov/Indian Country. Brought to you by USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
This is Lisa Edelstein from House. On TV, the good doctors aren't always easy to spot, but it is easy to spot the good that Barasa Ware is doing as a local health worker in Ethiopia. Every day he helps the children of his village survive. When you help local health workers like Barasa, you're one step away from helping children survive all over the world. See where the good goes at goodgoes.org and find out all the ways you can help the good go further. Brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Arr! We be under attack! Man the long nine! Arr! Prepare to be boarded! Flagship, starboard bow! What? No, not by the enemy flagship, by garbage! Me beautiful ocean be full of it these days. Many of folk don't know that when they throw their trash on the ground, it eventually makes its way into the ocean.
There's gonna come a day when I actively remember to record what goes on off air, and I will release that on a best of DVD set. I think it'd be absolutely hilarious. Welcome back into Back to Basics Tuesday night. Fast Study Lane behind the control panel. Mabo, what's happening?
How are you going to release it on a DVD set? Are you recording? I mean, what? Do you have cameras in here that I don't know about?
You'd be surprised where the cameras are. Just ask the NSA.
What the hell?
Like to welcome in tag team partner on Sundays and the host of the To Be Determined show Wednesday nights 10 p.m. Eastern on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
It's been a hell of a day, everybody. If you can tell by my Facebook and my Twitter, I have been on the verge of a rage, if you will. So thanks to everybody that's been like, hey, can I do something for you? Well, y'all know who you are. I'm not going to drop any names, but here's to you, kid.
Like to
be shooting my air pistols.
You're actually stopped with air pistols? I thought for sure you'd use at least paintball guns.
No.
Leave a mark somewhere, and if all else fails, splat.
I don't need paintballs to leave marks. Boom!
You do enough with your own balls, right?
Do that. Knock that out the park, boy. Back to basics.
Back to basics. Like to welcome in tag team partner from Saturday Morning Showcase and the host of Cause and Effect Thursday Night Radio Throwdown, Thursday nights 8 p.m. Eastern on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, Robert Cosper. Is there going to be one of you or three of you this time?
We're going to go with one.
Okay.
The network can only take one of me, so we're going to stick with one.
Unless, of course, it's in my case, then one of me sometimes is three too many.
I'm honestly starting to learn that. It takes like three of you to run this damn thing. I got to give you that. What's up, gentlemen?
Now, before we break into what's going on later in the week on the BR Network, the gimmick with Betty White from last night where she switched the teacups with Billy Gunn, and then Billy had to do the squish 'em tight gimmick running up the rampway. Has that type of humor been missed from Monday Night Raw, the sophomoric high school stuff that actually got, every once in a while, got the tongue-in-cheek laugh? Mabel, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see it. Like I said, at the time, I had missed the first hour of Raw, so I wasn't sure. I thought they were trying to get Betty White drunk and was going to, take advantage of her, which I would buy that sex tape to watch the New Age Outlaws run the train on Betty White. I'd totally watch that. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought Billy was supposed to be drunk when he came out there, and then when I went back and watched the first hour, I was like, hey, well, that makes even more sense. But yeah, I mean, that, kind of, but you don't want too much of it. So that type of humor was missed, yeah, but just don't, overload it.
Wick, your thoughts?
I have no idea what I was supposed to say because I did not watch that, believe me.
Okay. Kaz, have you seen it yet?
Well, I got the Hulu version, and what happened there I've only heard about and read about. It was not on the Hulu side, but I'll kind of go with Mabo a little bit and say A little bit of that humor is good. It's needed. Too much of it, not so much. But a little bit, no problem with.
Now, lo and behold, I agree with Mabo 100%. Don't overdo it. But every once in a while, they get it right by making it a one-shot wonder in a episode. Because you'll get a writer who'll get they'll get a focus group to watch the show, and they'll see it. They'll see the reaction. They'll see the dial in, and they'll go, "Ooh, this worked. How can we do something different on this? How can we do it again next week?" And that's when they have a tendency to F it up. Because, and for those who don't think, and let's pull back the curtain. For those who do not think for a second that Vince McMahon has Raw, SmackDown, Main Event, and all WWE programming focus grouped, go ahead, smoke another one. Because you know that they are watching they have focus groups come in, they watch the episode first run, they watch the replay, and then they figure out what people did and did not like. Now, granted, they may throw the data completely out the window sometimes. And here's what I'm going to lay out to all three of y'all. I have my answer in my head, and I'll go forth. Knowing the factor that Vince refuses to have the W word mentioned for the most part when he's describing WWE and when other people in the company describe WWE. If he finds out that someone in a focus group is a wrestling fan, do you think that he discounts their opinion in the focus groups? Mabo?
It just depends, on how. See, that's the thing is, a lot of people today are still calling themselves wrestling fans, but they just watch WWE, which is sports entertainment.
Right.
So you can't sit there and say that he would just completely discount what they have to say, because nobody sits there. I swear to you, nobody walks around and goes, "I'm a sports entertainment fan. I like that sports entertainment." No, it's still wrestling, and it will always be wrestling, no matter how much Vince wants it to be changed from wrestling to sports entertainment. It will always be known as professional wrestling, pro wrestling, or wrestling, not sports entertainment. So, I mean, that's like McDonald's wanted to just permanently call their burgers McBurgers. You can call it a McBurger all you want, but people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to go get a burger." From where? McDonald's. "Oh, you're going to have a burger from McDonald's?" Yeah, not a McBurger. They're just going to have a burger. So, as much as Vince wants us to be, sports entertainment fans, we're not going to be. So I don't think if the person says, "Yeah, I'm a wrestling fan" or not, it doesn't matter. Actually, probably Vince will probably pick it even more and be like, "Okay, well, do you watch just us?" And they do have these focus groups, and I mean, because I've actually gotten emails to take part in surveys and stuff about, mine was a couple of years ago before they even did the War Games thing, and that was one of the things was, would you like to see a War Games DVD? Would you like to see this? What do you think about these names for pay-per-views? So I think, honestly, if Vince gets a hold of a wrestling fan, he's going to find out what type of wrestling fan. Do they just watch our product? Did they watch our product at TNA? Do they watch the independents? Do they watch, international? And then he's going to take it from there, because that's just that one person you can draw more data from, and you can have a broader spectrum of what you can use in your product. So I don't think, unless the person is just like, "I hate Cena, man. I don't like that John Cena. That's all I watch WWE. I don't like that John Cena. I think he's Clark." Then that he'll probably throw out. But if the person is well spoken and well versed in the various products, then I think Vince would actually focus more in on that person than anything.
Wicked Nemesis.
No. I don't think he would, throw out their opinion just because they're wrestling fans. No.
Okay. Cosper.
I guess I'm kind of going to split the middle here. Within the past year, I would say no. Up until then, I would say yes. I think Mabo had a pretty good analogy talking about McDonald's. But you got to keep in mind, McDonald's in this modern day is trying to transition their menu into not only fast food and burgers, but kind of their healthy eating too. And I think that's what Vince is trying to transform wrestling into, is sports entertainment, or entertainment in general, as opposed to wrestling. And lately, that seems to be where he's geared, and that's the direction of the company. you've had a lot of wrestling fans throw their input out in the internet community, obviously. And I can't say that WWE is listening to that right now. I think they're trying to a little bit over the past couple of weeks because of the outrage from Rumble. But just like Mabo said, a wrestling fan and what they watch, be it do they watch just strictly WWE or do they watch TNA or do they watch the independents? I think if you really get into the internet wrestling community, your true wrestling fan kind of watches all of the above. They're kind of like all of us and tune into everything because you're not getting what you want in one spot. But, you know, to me, that's never been wrestling anyway. I've never gotten my entire product from one place. And that goes back to the 80s even.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm a Crockett guy by far.
See, I can understand the concept on that one because I was a huge fan of the WCW National Wrestling Alliance era in the 1980s. Of course, by the same token, I was also watching the American Wrestling Association for Ngannya's promotion. I was watching World Class, the Von Erichs promotion. I was watching World Wrestling Federation before it was the three-ring circus with Hulk Hogan and everybody else. So, I mean, I wanted to. It's kind of like being a fan of football. I watch college and I watch pro, and I like multiple teams, which in this day and age, you've got somebody who's just a Packers fan or just a Dolphins fan, and every other team can go jump off in a lake. And to understand, you know, it's kind of like down in our home state of Alabama. You have those who are Alabama football fans. Well, me personally, I like Alabama. I respect Auburn. I like the University of Miami. I like the Georgia Bulldogs over in the... There's a number of teams that I actively watch because I like them. And if someone, and I'll agree with this part, if 100%, if the fan or the person doing the focus group can put out the opinion in an educated, versed manner, then it's more likely to get the, hey, check this out, as opposed to, no, man, that sucks. I agree 100%. Delivery is everything. The impression is everything. I want to go back to the chat room for a second, something Daryl B brought up. I made the reference to his statement about Lita should have gone in before Trish. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But I'm going to bring up three other names that he brought up. Ivory, Molly Holly, and Alundra Blaze Medusa Michelli. Of those three... Now, we all know about the situation with Medusa Michelli / Alundra Blaze and the women's championship belt. And you know that's going to have the wedge in there. So I'll say if you feel like putting her at the top of that list, even with that considered, go for it. But of those three, which one do you think would be the first one to go? Mabo.
Well, I'll go ahead and put, even without the wedge, I would put Molly at the bottom. Even though I think she's a tremendous talent, I would put Molly at the bottom because, you know, once again, it falls back to that, you know, how much of an impact did she really make? Yes, she did carry the belt during sort of what I considered kind of a low time at some points. But I would put her at the bottom. Ivory, you know, she kind of started off the whole thing. She was that group that came in where they were transitioning to being officially called divas, like her and not Tori Wilson, but just like straight up, just straight up Tori. You know, that group. But you know, she also had her Glow career, which could really, that would probably put her up there if Vince had the rights to Glow. Now I'm telling you, if Vince had the rights to Glow,
it's on. Then
Ivory, you know, Tina Ferrari, whatever you want to call her, she would be up there. As far as Medusa, you know, she had a great run. And then when she was Alundra Blaze, I mean, she held the belt when there was, it seemed like only 3 people wrestling for it in the women's division, you know, back in, you know, the 90s, early 90s. But I don't know. If out of the 3, I mean, well, what did she really do in WCW other than she threw the belt in there? You know, other than after that, it just felt like she was regulated to being a valet, just like when she first came in. So, I don't know, but I would definitely put Ivory at the front, but that's only if Vince could get a hold of the Glow archive.
That'd be a beautiful thing. I would spend money on that. Wick, your thoughts. Which of the three goes first? Or put them in your order.
Unfortunately, Molly Holly goes last. Ivory goes second. Even though I believe that Ivory is probably the most underrated women's wrestler to come through the WWE maybe ever.
You're reading my notes.
And Medusa's got to be number one. I mean, does anybody remember when she got her nose splattered on national TV?
Oh, God, yes.
That scarred me as a kid. I think that's the reason why I like violent women. She got her nose splattered. Most guys, and you know these guys, man, I've seen guys break their fingers and flip out and leave the ring, and I'm like, are you kidding me? My finger, I'm like, snap it back in place, dumbass. Get back in there. These people don't pay to see you cry. Scotty Blaze, as everybody can see for the GCW little vignette package they have for behind the curtain for the Unlucky Charms, Scotty Blaze got dropped on his damn neck for the first Shamrock Shenanigans. Holy crap. The cow was back in no time, man. It's just... Alundra Blaze is my favorite female wrestler of all time, behind Trish Stratus. There's no reason that Medusa should not be in this, with the exception of all the politics. We've all heard the rumors about why Macho Man isn't in there.
Right.
But God, Jesus Christ, they have Warrior going in.
Yep.
Warrior accused Hogan and Vince of pushing steroids on everybody. This is coming from a guy that should have been Philip Seymour Hoffman a long time ago. That should have been him, not Philip. You have a girlfriend or a wife. I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna hurt her. I'm gonna hurt her bad. Come on, Mabo. How was that?
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Cosper, your thoughts. Which three? In what order?
I'm going to agree with Wick's order, but for a little different reason. And I'm kind of going to go back to Mabo's points he was talking about with Ivory, if Vince had the rights to Glow. Go back and look at Medusa and the AWA rights.
Thank you.
AWA Day, which Vince has the rights to. I've got to have it in Wick's order, and for that reason, honestly. Medusa's WCW stuff wasn't tremendous, but it wasn't that bad. But yeah, granted, her biggest encounters were Missy Hyatt and Paulie Dangerously. But honestly, she's done a ton for women's wrestling, and she came up long before the quote-unquote divas were ever a thought. And honestly, I don't discount all of her WWE work as Alundra Blaze, actually. I mean, she had a couple of decent runs there, Bull Nakano and Luna Vachon.
Right.
So I would definitely have Medusa first, and then I would agree with everybody else and kind of have Ivory second. And then Molly Holly. Molly's not that high on my list, but my experience with Molly Holly is coming in as Miss Madness in WCW, and then being Molly Holly in the WWE. So, that's my 2 cents.
Now, I'm going to go with a different perspective at number one. Yeah, Holly would be third. Sorry. Truth. I agree 100%. That's a clean sweep. 2 would actually be Medusa Michelli Alundra Blaze. I appreciate the fact that she has been AWA, WWF, and WCW. The flagship for all three's the flagship of the women's division for all three. However, I'm going to add something to the mix with Ivory that nobody put in there. And this is why she would go number one for me. She was not only Tina Ferrari with Glow. She was Nina with POW. And then Ivory with World Wrestling Federation. She was one of the few, and this is something that I know is going to be taken improperly, and I'm going to apologize in advance for this, but I've got to say it like this. She is one of the very few that made the transition from Glow into more traditional professional wrestling. And believe me, I enjoyed watching Glow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Tina Ferrari and Ashley Cartier were badasses, especially considering the fact that they let Ashley Cartier wear a thong. Nice ass. Sorry, sexist. I'm a dog and I admit it sometimes. But for Tina, for Nina, for Ivory to make that transition from the Glow product to the POW product and then to World Wrestling Federation, that took more, in my opinion, than it did for Medusa Michelli, who's also a badass, who is a serious badass. Ask anybody who drives a monster truck right now. And that's where she's gone, and believe me, she has done remarkably well over there, and I am happy for her. But it took more to make the transition from Glow to POW to WWF than it did to make the transition from AWA to WWF to WCW. I'm not even worried about the belt incident. I'm just looking at the fact of the overall body of work and what the person did as part of their body of work. So yeah, Ivory, Tina, Nina would have to be number one for me. Then Medusa Michelli, then Molly Holly. And honestly,
how many times did Ivory go and sell out the Tokyo Dome?
Good point.
Name me one time she drew somewhere outside of Texas or Tennessee. One place, Eddie. You name one.
I probably can't.
There's not. Medusa did.
Yes, she did.
Medusa was wrestling damn near hardcore women's wrestling.
True.
When I hadn't seen anything like that. I saw the one she called a dragon suplex.
Okay.
What was that girl's name? Bull Nagata?
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano. Bam! In the ring. That woman was bad. I think that Bull needs to go in before a lot of the women that already been in.
Amen.
Sherry Martel.
Ooh.
I'm not a big Sherry Martel mark. I'm going to go ahead and tell you all that.
But Sherry,
Y'all can ooh my ass all you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that.
With all the respect that goes with Sherry in most people's opinion, Sherry did a lot in passing the. I know, but she did a lot in passing the torch to Medusa. You got to flip back to AWA for that.
Yeah, you do.
You're right about that. But at that time, here's the difference. Sherry Martel had her personal demons and let all that take over her.
Yes.
Medusa politicked because Medusa saw what was going on. Should she have thrown the women's belt in the title in the trash can? Absolutely not. But Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, if that didn't do more for that title than anything, and every diva, I know we all worship Moolah, we all worship Mae Young as we should be. They all need to get and worship at the feet of Alundra Blaze and Medusa, because that woman kept that title when it was just Moolah.
Yeah,
there was Moolah and nobody else, and then along come Alundra Blaze, Medusa, and Lord have mercy on my soul. Did that woman not strike fear in the hearts of most men?
Because she could work.
Absolutely,
exactly.
She could work like a man.
Well, that being said, too, Medusa made that women's title, the WWF women's title, more relevant than it had been in years when she showed up on Nitro and dropped it in the garbage can.
Amen. That's what I'm saying. See, cause gets me.
No, I see exactly where you're going with that.
And there's the effect.
There's me. Yeah, absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
We'll tell you what, we are going 2 minutes before the top of the hour. We are slated to be joined by country jacked Corey Hollis in just a few minutes right here on Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. I know that Mabo said he's going to depart at 9, so I'm going to go ahead and throw to Mabo for last call and shameless plug, sir.
No, I'm good. I'm over here playing WWE.
Okay. Tell you what, Cosper, last call, shameless plugs.
You want me to plug Thursday night?
Yeah, go with it. You didn't read your text message, did you?
No, I didn't bring my phone with me. I try to follow the rules.
What
Thursday
rules?
night.
We have rules here?
Yeah.
Hell damn ass is the only major rule I have.
And I have to ask if that's still in play here.
Yes, it is.
But, okay. Thursday night, man. C&E, Cause and Effect, Thursday Night Throwdown right here on Beyond Ringside. Working to get Missy Hyatt, but I can't guarantee it for this week. Still trying to get an answer there. So that's where we're at.
And we can find it. Go ahead.
And I know we're going to cut short because there's going to be some GCW radio that follows C&E this Thursday night at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Yeah, Cause and Effect is going to be going from 7 p.m. Central to 8:50 p.m. in GCW. We're going to switch the stream over to Studio 1 from the C&E Studios. That's where GCW Radio is going to take over at 9 o'clock. And you can the other part of the shameless plugs at the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's still new at this part.
No, I'm trying to dig up my phone and read up this freaking text message here.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, Cause, when you come on this might fly on your little Bush League amateur show that you have on Thursdays. But for crying out loud, when you got the Fast Eddie and you got the Wicked Nemesis on the freaking air, bring your A game, son. Pull your head out your butt crack. Quit fantasizing about Tara Victoria, Lisa Marie. Get on your game, boy.
Man's got to have his vices, Maybo. Man's got to have.
I know, but come on, man. Get it together. Jesus.
Yeah, what he said.
You were supposed to take my spot. You were supposed to take my spot when I left the show. And now look, I had to come back. Because apparently the Warrior couldn't carry the title, so they had to bring back the Hogan of the show. Way to go, Cause. Yeah, cocked it up for everybody.
I'm Warrior and you're Hogan, man. I don't know who
Look at here. You know what? We're going to change your note. You know what? Your show's no longer Cause and Effect. It's going to be Cock and Effect because you cock everything up.
Oh, maybe I need to have you on Thursday. Yeah, come on.
Nah, I can't get drunk enough to get on your show.
Come on. Hell, everybody else does. Come on over.
I know.
He doesn't drink.
I know, exactly. Anyway, so go ahead and get your little Twitter and your Facebooks and all that. Go ahead, get it on. Go ahead.
My Facebooks and all that. All right.
All
right.
No.
You can catch me on Twitter at TheCause. That's COSZ. On Twitter. You can catch me on Facebook at Robert Cosper. Hell, just look for my smiling face and it'll be that. And you can catch me over in the Pro Wrestling fan page, and that fan page is one word. And you can also catch me on Facebook again over there at the Cause and Effect page. Are you happy with that, Maybe? Do you feel good with that one?
Hey, dude, I'm just trying to help you get your product out there. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate the help, man. I appreciate it.
And if you're going to come on the two original things that we were doing Sundays and Tuesdays, if you're going to come on there, you got to make sure you have your junk together, buddy. Just trying to help you out.
I'm going to do my homework for next time.
For God's sakes, I hope so.
Wick, last call, shameless plugs. We're over the hour.
No, you're not going to kick me off when you're about to bring Corey Hollis on. You're out of your damn mind.
If you're staying...
Go to commercial break!
If you're staying through the break, then guess what,
yes,
folks?
Of course I am. God, no, see, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Corey's going to kill me. He's going to stab me with his insulin. God, Jesus.
And he's on the line.
Go to commercial break.
Yeah, we'll be back in 5. This is Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. I almost said Beyond Ringside Live. Holy hell.
Hello? Hi, I found your name on the internet. I'm going through a foreclosure. Can you help?
Sure, it's simple. We'll just leverage your transitory expenditures into a fiduciary trust, and we massage those assets before your money goes into my private account.
I don't get it.
If you're facing foreclosure, who should you trust? The Hope Hotline is a free resource connecting you with HUD-approved housing counseling agencies, available 24 hours a day, who can give you the information and clarity you need. Call the Hope Hotline at 888-995-HOPE. That's 888-995-4673. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear sighting, as in Smokey Bear.
Continue.
I was burning yard waste. He told me to remember that if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
I know that now.
As usual, the talking bear gets all the credit. Always burn responsibly and contact your local fire department for open burning regulations. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation. Yeah, get down and dance. You hear that? That's the sound of arthritis pain being moved, grooved, hustled, shuffled, juked, jived, junked, funked, shimmied, shook, and boogied. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound, that's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, wind and grind on over to fightarthritispain.org. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me?
up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider. Bedsider.org.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Oh!
You are round MVP.
Yeah, man. Yo, Drew, I finally got round MVP. Round MVP.
No way. That was some ownage.
Finally earning round MVP takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra, and this is How I Live United. Many families have come to America for a better life. I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to see opportunities available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools and network within the community. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunity and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. My webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Always on time. I love that song. That song's been stuck in my head all day.
I thought you said Steiner line.
Steiner.
And coming up a little bit later. And coming up a little bit later in the broadcast, it will be Wicked Nemesis doing karaoke.
Yes.
I was bringing up the microphones, caught you doing the Toto.
I don't give a shit.
Wick.
See, there you go. See, there you go. I already broke the rule. Okay, hey, look, I have had Hold the Line by Toto stuck in my head for like the last 3 months. Well, speaking of being stuck in my head,
yeah, I would say
this man right here caught I caught so much flack for this gentleman we have on right now. Yes, he is like a little brother to me.
Yes.
Am I a mark for him? Yeah, I probably am a mark for him. But you know what? So what? If you saw his work, did you see that Peter Gabriel that he took? Holy crap! He's lucky not to be having to poop out of a bag.
Okay, then let me set this up right then. Let me go ahead and do this. Number one, the move to which Wick is referring that our special guest took very recently in Palmerdale under the banner of Global Championship Wrestling is, of course, the Peter Gabriel, i.e. the Irish Sledgehammer from Chris Knox, a member of the Unlucky Charms. And our guest at this time, who was the recipient of that move, good friend of the family here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, now known as Country Jacked, Corey Hollis. Corey, how you doing tonight?
How's it going, guys? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
Enjoying every minute of it, and you know I've said it before, and I'll always say it, dude. Door's always open. Glad to have you on the show tonight. Now, first off, how many of your ribs did you actually feel leave your corporeal form and end up in the third row after the sledgehammer from Knox?
I was just like, wow, that was a bad idea. Like, why do I have these ideas?
Now, I have to ask. Now, longtime listeners and longtime friends of the show are going to know Corey. We've had him on both on To Be Determined. We've had him on Beyond Ringside Live, and
we also had him on Shoot Finish when we had that. We had him on Tweet Talking.
Didn't I say Beyond Ringside?
To Be Determined. We had him on every incarnation I believe we've had on here. Seriously.
Yeah, really. And that's why I said good friend of the whole family. And for those who've also followed the career so far of Corey Hollis, the different areas in which you've worked, and a lot of people are going to know you now because of the national television exposure you've been receiving through Ring of Honor TV, which is owned by the Sinclair Broadcast Group. Knowing that you can work ROH, and everybody now calls it the ROH style, how much of a mental transition, not just physical, but seriously, how much of a mental transition is it to work the ROH style and then come back and work in, I'm going to use the phrase, traditional pro wrestling venues?
There is a complete 180, and I'll tell you why. A couple of weeks ago, I wrestled Davey Richards for PWX up in the Carolinas, which is, getting a little bit of a buzz right now. And it was right after he started with TNA. And, Davey's trying to slow himself down, and I'm at the same time picking my style up. So in a way, we got to meet in the middle with all that, because he's coming down and I'm coming up, if that makes any sense.
Perfect sense.
And so, it still has to be bing, 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 but it has to be bing, sell, bing, sell. There has to be, every movement has to have a reason. Anybody, and I see it all the time, a lot down here in the South, guys will go out there and they want to do what I call the Ring of Honor style from 2007, because Ring of Honor from 2007 to now is totally different. But they want to go out there and do all these crazy moves with no reasoning. People don't understand that your act starts as soon as you walk out that curtain. It doesn't start when the bell rings. When your music hits, and if you can get it to where when your music hits, the people know who you are, the better everything's going to be. And I feel like people, as soon as their music hits, they're just still thinking about their match. They're not thinking about getting the people to, be emotionally invested. If that makes any sense at all.
For us, it does. And that's the thing about it. And a good friend of all three of ours, in his first appearance on BR Radio, laid out a question that stuck with me, but it was also a question that I've had in my head in a number of different wordings. And that question, as asked by Bill Behrens, was, why should I care?
Exactly.
About this match? Can you give me a reason to care? To use the Jim Rossism, how can I become emotionally invested in this match to where I'm going to pop, cheer, boo, all of the above?
Let me ask you this. What's the biggest thing that you remember of wrestling? It could be, when you think of wrestling, what's the biggest thing you think of? It's the first thing that pops in your mind.
Easy. For me personally, Ric Flair versus Bullet Bob Armstrong, Boutwell Auditorium back in the day.
And that was a moment, right? Because that was Bullet getting his shot at the belt.
Right.
That moment.
Exactly.
Do you remember how the middle of that match was, or do you remember the second, third move they did?
I remember all 48 minutes of that match.
but do you get to common fans, they're not, and especially how everybody is so diagnosed with ADD these days.
Right.
Everybody's attention spans is a lot shorter than what it used to be.
I blame MTV.
Yeah, you can blame society.
Well, that too.
That has to play a part in what we do now. Like, everything has to have a reason, and guys can. I see guys that are freaking talented, a lot more talented than me. It's just if they could just sell in between everything they do, goes the extra mile. And that's my opinion, and that's coming from a lot of other guys that I've got to work with too.
See, here's the thing for me, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, and I know Wick will. By the way, Wick, you're on deck. After watching this past Saturday night's ROH TV, the television title three-way dance with Taven, Lethal, and Ciampa. First off, love the match. And for me, I always have a hard time not necessarily discerning what they're putting together and how it's being put together. But I look at matches of that ilk where it's more than just two people and it's not a tag team match. Tag team match psychology is one thing. One-on-one psychology is another thing. Three-way dance, it's almost like you do have to manage to keep the attention off of the person who's not in the mix at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, go ahead.
And you're right, and it's a challenge. I mean, you're exactly right. It's a challenge. But I feel like I watched that match back, and I was like, that was really good how they did everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, taking time in everything you do. And, you can go out there and do 40 super kicks, but if they don't matter, they don't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It took Shawn Michaels one super kick to win WWF World title.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Why throw 40?
Unless it was later in his run, and then he would end up having to throw 2 and 3.
Well, I mean, there was a story. I go to shows now and I see guys throw, God, how many? I don't even know. And I don't get it. I understand. Their mentality of trying to get noticed and all that, but it doesn't have to be that way. People get noticed now by their look, how the moments they create, what the story that they can tell. It's cool to be able to do really cool moves, but at the same time, if those moves have no meaning, then nobody can get invested into who you are.
Exactly. I understand that point completely. Wick, come on in with Corey Hollis.
Now, we've kind of delved off into language that only people in our business can ascertain. So let's kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but let's dumb it down for the fans. We talk about this, about you having to bring up your style and somebody's having to bring their style down. What you mean by that is you have a very fast-paced style. Do you think that becoming or starting off in the South, do you think that being around what a lot of people call wrestling and being around those type of guys and being on events with those type of guys, do you think that it's easier for you to speed up than it is for other guys to slow down because you've been at that where it was as slow as molasses to begin with?
I think what I was really blessed with when I first got in was I was around a lot of guys that knew the fundamentals and guys that were really good at storytelling. And I take that from Jimmy and Sal. And I'm talking about Jimmy Rave and Sal Rivera, but
right.
From what I learned from them was because they came, in a way, they came here, then they went to Ring of Honor, and now they're back, helping as much as they can. And I feel like, I don't want to say it was easier because it's been difficult. With certain guys, they move at a faster pace than what I really want to do. I try to, if I can get 2 or 3 minutes out of something small, I'm going to try to get that 2 or 3 minutes out of it. Because I feel like everybody else on the card is going to want to try to be bing, 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 and not bing. Okay, here we are. Okay, relax, breathe. You got it. The best thing when I first started doing Ring of Honor stuff was, and I don't know how this came to my mind or whatever, but I told players we have to learn how to be comfortable in this uncomfortable environment. And it was at first. And now I feel like if I take that everywhere I go, I can own everything. You know what I mean? For me, I can be in that moment, and just relax and have fun. And that's what it is. Because when you want to do so much, your mind rushes. And then when you rush, you get anxious. And when you get anxious, you start moving fast, and when you move fast, things look sloppy. So it's just being able to find how to be comfortable in those situations. Whatever it is that you can do. For me, I don't know how I do it. I just channel, and I'm just there. You know, I'm in that moment. And I go into this character, which I don't even know how I get there, but it's there. And, you know, there's a lot of things that everybody needs work on, and that's what makes being a wrestler so much fun, is because you're never going to be perfect. There's always room for improvement.
I asked the question because of a comment that was made in the chat room, and I do believe that it is by it is. First off, a longtime friend of mine, and we go back to the mid-'80s inside the ring together, as well as someone you have ties to. Here comes that 6 degrees of separation, Lightning Lee Peak.
Okay, yeah.
And a comment that he made in the chat room was, and this is something that holds water with me, and I know it holds with you and Wick as well, because in a sense, we're talking two different generations, but at the same time, we're not. Yeah. And he made the statement that we told a story and people paid attention, not like now. But knowing you the way I do from having sat with you, talked with you, and worked with you, you have that mentality of wanting to be able to go out and tell that story. Do you give yourself credit for having, I don't want to use the words old school, because in my book, that is timestamp labeling, and guess what? That's profiling, and profiling is wrong.
It's wrong. Yes.
But do you call it a traditionalist mentality?
I want to say I try to take a mixture of every mentality and try to make it one. You know, like, if I can take something from this and this guy and that guy, you know, this guy from this generation, this guy from the next up and because I see a bunch of young guys that are going to be rocking it in the next few years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and like I see this and I see that, and I try to put it all into my canvas. You know what I mean? And I try to make a great page with, with all that, you know, and that's what makes, I feel like, pun intended, original. And coming from the South and being around so many guys, and I mean, I don't want to, everybody knows now I'm around AJ a lot, and just that mentality and just being a sponge, and everything that is told to me, I try to soak in and just like throw it right there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that, I feel like that is what has helped me so much, is learning from different generations and different guys, and just like, if I could like have a dinner one night with like 4 different different guys, it'd be like Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, AJ, Davey, Gunner. I mean, there's just so many different guys that like I can learn from, and that I try to put into my canvas, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, every experience is a learning experience, especially when you get to hear it as well as see it.
Yes, exactly. Like, I get the most fun that I have in wrestling right now, besides my matches, is getting around the guys and just learning. And that's what I want to do. I just always want to learn. And when I'm, when it's time for me to step away, I just want to be able to give back to what gave to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, that's what I think is like the big grand scheme of things.
Well, I've said this behind closed doors, or I've said it behind the curtain, and I've also said it in public. First off, I don't know if I've really conveyed to you how I want to use the word proud, but I think that's an understatement. How much I smile when I see you hit the screens at ROH. Because there's that little part of me deep down inside, I get to sit back and I get to mark out and go, I know him. He's cool. He made it. And to see you and Posey manage to hit that forum. I mean, I've sat back and I preached about ROH ever since it was on HDNet. Then when they moved to Sinclair, and I look at ROH, everybody wants to use the word competitor or competition. I've brought back the traditional word alternative, because you have people who are WWE fans, and some of those call themselves wrestling fans. Wrong answer. Try going back to school, Clyde. And when you get a chance to watch a product like ROH, understandably so, they take things at a slightly different lilt and a slightly different tempo. But by the same token, I do call them a true alternative to what you see on Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And, dude, first off, I am still truly happy and popping for the fact that, like I say, two people that I know and respect in this world called professional wrestling have made that forum.
Thank you.
The loaded question. The first time you got ready to break curtain on that first appearance for that first TV taping, what was really going through your head?
Kill it. Now, are you talking about Sinclair or are you talking about HDNet? Because I was there for
I knew the HDNet.
First year.
Yeah, I was going back for HDNet.
I can't even remember then because I wasn't ready. Then I just knew I mean, there was a reason I was there, but to me, I just felt gut feeling I wasn't ready. Now, it's gotta get in that moment, gotta get in that character, gotta gotta be you. In a sense, times your intensity times 100, times everything you do times 100, because this is your moment, and this is my time to do me and be me and show why I am where I am, I don't want to get emotional, but my grandmother, that's the first thing that hits my mind, and when that music starts going and I'm like, okay, and then I just go out there. And that's just what it is. And still, working my way into complete 100% comfortability, if that makes any sense.
It really does.
And that's what it is. And it's so humbling and it's so cool to see what everybody says about it. I appreciate everything everybody says. And it means more than anything, all the support I'm getting, especially with everything going on with my grandmother right now. But I really, really just, I don't want to say make everybody proud, but I just want to make myself proud, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Being there is cool. Now it's time to leave my mark. If that makes sense. Now I'm there. Now it's the next step.
You are listening to Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics Tuesday night, 27 after the hour, Fast Eddie Lane, the Wicked Nemesis, being joined by country jacked Corey Hollis. Wick, come on in.
You talked about you're like I think, when do you think that mentality from the older guys finally goes away? It's you've been here, they expect you just to be happy to be here. They're still trying to little bro you. You're like, I've done. Yeah, don't try to little bro me anymore. I mean, when do you think that mentality finally goes? And second of all, when did you finally decide that, hey, it's my turn to actually speak up? Because we all know they teach you when you first get to business, keep your mouth shut, keep your mouth closed and ears open. When do you think that guys, just breaking into the business, when do you think that they should be able to actually speak their mind?
To the first question, when I come back, to a GCW or to another indie show like in Georgia or anything, guys try to do that. I don't want to say that they try to take credit, and that's fine. I've learned.
I'll say it. They try to take credit. I'll say it. I'll say it for you because you're too humble. You know it.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation. We just haven't ever had it on air. I've interviewed Doc 40 times, and we've always been, let's cave for this. But I had to.
I just, I've learned from everybody. Everybody has a different flavor of ice cream of how wrestling works. And from what I gathered, and, some guys are like, oh, you do that Ring of Honor stuff, kid. You want to go out there and drop yourself on your head. That's not it, man. That's not what Ring of Honor is now. If you sit and watch what we are, we're a television wrestling product. And and we're a bunch of young guys, and we're willing to learn to try to make the company better. We're not trying to just make ourselves better. We're trying to make everybody better.
For the greater good.
Yeah, exactly. And to the second question, I came to a point where I was like, It's like, y'all don't know, like, y'all think Corey Hollis is this, but this is really Corey Hollis. And what it was like, give me the microphone, just let me say something. Don't even worry about what I'm going to say. I'm just going to go out there and say it. I went out there and I said my grievance, and I said how I felt, you know, like, and I mean, it made a lot of people mad. You know, some people said, man, that was awesome, but I could tell in their gut that it pissed them off. But at the end of the day, you got to look out for you, and you can't be a pushover in the sport. And if you notice, I say sport, not business.
Right.
I learned that from Steve Carino. It's a sport, not a business. You cannot be a pushover. You have to have a backbone. If you don't have a backbone, people are going to still continue to push over you. And in life, you just can't do that. You have to stand for who you are. You got to stand for what you believe in. And if you can't do that, then you should not be in what we're doing. You should not be trying to entertain these fans and trying to, you know, and I hate to say it, but you're wasting people's time. If you're not in the gym, if you're not tanning, if you're not eating right, if you're not, you know, going out there trying to, I mean, it doesn't even have to be in wrestling, but helping somebody get to a different level. And like a lot of people know, I work out, you know, constantly, and I'm in a gym all the time, but I always try to work out with a bunch of different, you know, groups of people to, like, you know, help them. And like it's weird because a lot of people from here look up to me, and I just try to help motivate them with what I do. And if I can just motivate them to help them succeed in their goals, then I'm doing my thing right. I heard AJ was telling me this Friday. Success isn't determined about how, if you main event WrestleMania, if you win the world title or anything like that. It's about doing what makes you feel great and makes you yourself a success. You know, for AJ, it's his family. For me, it's helping others. It's like with Dylan right now. I've been in the exact same, you know, I've been in that same position as him. 80 different people coming into his ear. But I've known Dylan ever since he was like a 15-year-old kid, and I coached him in high school wrestling. And I was like,
hold on. Corey, you were talking about that Dylan. Okay, you say you were in the same boat as Dylan. No, you're not, because Dylan has like a foot on you. Man, let me tell you something. I said this. I think I said this on the air. Dylan, holy crap! Tell me that the sky is not the limit for that kid. And he's a kid. He's a baby.
If he keeps his mind right, he keeps working hard and being consistent, the sky is the limit for him.
Yeah, sure.
That's
so.
And that's what I'm trying to say is, I know how Dylan's mentality works, and he comes from a background just like me, and I know how to talk to him and get it to where it gets across to him. And you know, he's anxious. He's impatient, I guess is the better way to say it. But he's getting better, and he's understanding. That's why, and you know, I'm trying to do to him what like Will did for me. Like, I'll take him to a Ring of Honor trip and have him help set up the ring. Just listen. I mean, what's it going to hurt to, you know, just be around those guys? It's not going to hurt him at all. It's going to help him.
Do me a favor.
You know,
for everybody who's listening right now who doesn't know who Dylan is, would y'all please elucidate?
Dylan Cook.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Oh, I guess. I thought Corey said his name.
No,
so that's why I just sorry. Yeah, Dylan Cook. He's a hell of a time. How old is Dylan? 18, 19? I mean, he's a kid. 19. He's 19. I mean, he literally looks like my son. Like, and the kid, he's respectful. He's never like looked at somebody the wrong way, like he could whip their ass. Even though he's a big kid,
and
he's like shorter than me. I'm 6'3". Dylan's like 6'2", correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
the thing is, when he gets hot-headed, I have to calm him down. You know, he comes to me and he says, "What do I do in this situation? What do I do? This is pissing me off." I'm like, "Dude, you just gotta sit there and you gotta bite your tongue. Like, I know it sucks, but one day you'll get that opportunity to be, you know, you." And I don't want him. That's why I take him with me on, you know, all these trips and stuff, so he can learn from everybody, like how I did when I first started. You know, like I had Will, I had Posey, I had Robert and Patrick, and I had Jimmy Ray. I had all these great group of minds, just that I could just if I could I still love going and just talking wrestling to just those guys, because it's just fun just sitting there listening and talking and sharing ideas and opinions about what we love.
Guys, do me a favor. I've got to take the bottom of the hour break, folks. Hang with us. We are going to be back in 5 right here. This is Back to Basics.
This is Howard C. Cross, the Legal Eagle, and you're listening to Beyond Ringside.
GCW Pro Wrestling comes to the Pelham Civic Complex in Pelham, Alabama, Saturday, March 1st for March Mayhem WrestleFest 2014. Already signed to appear, former WWE, now TNA star MVP, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. Ladies Championship on the line as Amber O'Neal challenges the Island Girl Tracy Taylor. 8 big matches in all. Bell time set for 7:30 p.m. Tickets start at $15 and are available through Ticketmaster. Be sure to check out GCWPro.com, and we'll see you on March 1st for Global Championship Wrestling.
All bad things must come to an end. The world's most notorious rock band is saying goodbye forever. Dodge presents Motley Crue, the final tour, with very special guest Alice Cooper. Friday, August 15th, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Motley Crue, the final tour. For more info and tour dates, visit motley.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Show fans, this is Chemo, the Korean super soldier, and you are locked in Beyond Ringside.
Journey.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling, yeah.
Steve Miller Band.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight.
The top Bay Area bands of all time.
Someday, love will find you.
Special guest, Tower of Power.
Cause I could never make.
The Sounds of San Francisco, May 27th, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Journey. Steve Miller Band. Special guest, Tower of Power, on tour together. Reserve seat tickets are on sale now. Buy tickets at livenation.com or charge by phone at 800-745-3000. Visit journeymusic.com and stevemillerband.com for more. Journey and Steve Miller Band. Buy tickets at livenation.com. Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation. Yeah, get down and dance. You hear that? That's the sound of arthritis pain being moved, grooved, hustled, shuffled, juke, jive, junked, funked, shimmied, shook, and boogied. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound, that's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, wind and grind on over to fightarthritispain.org. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some interaction got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
This is Brian Alexander, Alexander the Great. You're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Oh! You are round MVP.
Yeah, man. Yo, Drew, I finally got round MVP. Round MVP.
No way. That was some ownage.
Finally earning round MVP takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
If you're listening to this, then you're listening to the sensational Mickey Knuckles, and you are locked in beyond ringside.
My name is Meera Batra, and this is How I Live United. Many families have come to America for a better life. I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to see opportunities available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools and network within the community. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunity and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, and the whole shebang. Johnny Gargano, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hello, everybody.
Into everyone's life, a little rain must fall. And snow, sleet, and all that other crap we're getting down in the southeastern U.S. First off, before we go any further, to everybody who is going through round 2 in our home state of Alabama, please, please, please be careful out there. Thank you to everybody who is listening in this evening via our Ustream feed, through Ustream Mobile, through the Shoutcast app for Apple telephones and tablets, through the Winamp app for Android and BlackBerry smartphones and tablets. To everybody catching us through BeyondRingside.com. Don't forget the Ustream Live tab over on the Beyond Ringside fan page over on Facebook, Facebook.com/BeyondRingside Live. Did not post the link this evening on Twitter. Bad Eddie. Wick, where's your spray bottle? I was wondering, damn satellite delay on that one.
Sorry, I had it on mute because it's chaos here.
I believe it. But once again, welcome back.
Cats and dogs living together. Corey Hollis talking about Jimmy Rave. Let me ask you a question really quick. Let me just jump into this. Hold on. Do you think, now you fall under this weird obtuse umbrella that is the Merchants of Death, as we all know. You're also part of Jimmy Rave approved. Do you think that your run with Jimmy Rave, when it was Chip Day, when it was yourself, when it was Jimmy, when it was Posey, do you think that you guys were one of the greatest independent factions of the last, let's say, 10 years?
I thought we could have went to Ring of Honor with it.
Uh-oh.
I really do.
I thought you could have gone to TNA with it.
At one point, there was actually talk of it happening, and like we had like all these great ideas of what we would do, and I mean, it would have been so great, if the lights just went out, lights come back on, there's us three, and then Jimmy's on the stage or in somewhere in the crowd or something. And it's somebody he cheated with long ago, and then there we are just beating doing the whole thing, and that was just it really could have, because it was really cool. It was really fun, and it was such a great learning experience too, So, but yeah,
what was it really felt... with Chip? Because you and Chip, of course, are two of my personal favorites. Chip's just a loose cannon. Period. What was it like with Chip? With Chip, we all start laughing.
Yeah.
Chip Day. Chip Day's come a long way.
Yeah, he's talented. I just wish he would get out of Georgia. That's the only thing. I love him to death like a brother, and I thought me and him had some awesome matches against each other and tagging together too. But, I understand why, but at the same time, I think I know last time I talked to him, it was a while, but he misses being on the road and, doing it. But, it is what it is. I can't tell him, hey, you're getting in the truck with me and we're going this place. I wish I could, but it's all up to him. The cards are on his table, so.
Realizing that it's only February, it's too early for me to ask you your high points so far of 2014. But considering it's been a while since we've really had a chance to talk, taking a look back at the year that was 2013, what moment for you personally goes up on the wall?
For 2013?
Yeah.
The night we formed Country Jack. The reaction that was just the match that I had with Caleb was freaking awesome. It was phenomenal. You know, it was probably one of my better matches, and it wasn't, you know, like we're not too big, you know, huge, you know, top former World Ring of Honor champions or anything. We're just, you know, two homegrown indie guys, and we're just going out there telling a story, having fun, and you know, and owning that moment. And after the match, and when we finally did the Country Jack thing, and just the attention that we got, and you know, the feedback we got from everybody was like, this is going to be something special, and it is something special. And I mean, that hype ranks high up in 2013, but for my whole career right now, is my match with AJ last Friday. That was the be-all, end-all before I even got into wrestling. That was, if I could get in the ring with him and have a good match with him and, you know, do that, then that's one of my major goals. And I got more goals, you know, trust me. I got a lot more goals, but, like, that was one that I'm very proud of.
Wick, come on in.
Well, you talked about the formation of Country Jack. How does Country Jack compare to Jimmy Rave approved? You see what I did there?
Yeah. Country Jack, I feel like it's my thing. And, like, I have more, the ball is a lot more in my court, as, you know, I can be me. You know, I'm from, you know, Alabama. You know, you know how people think of Alabamians? You know? I mean, like, seriously, you know what? Like, literally, when I'm up in New York, people don't think I'm from Alabama. I have to, like, tell them, yeah, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I grew up on a farm, you know, and that work ethic that you know, that you get when you work on a farm. And then you transition that into wrestling, and then you go into wrestling with this whole mindset when you first start out, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I have all these great dreams and goals and all these first new things that are going to be happening and everything. You get higher on that ladder. You feel like you're getting higher on that ladder. And somebody tells you, like, oh, no, you're not ready for that kid. You're not ready for that kid. And then I was like, I have this idea. You know, a bunch of the boys just, you know, they talk about my work ethic in the gym. And, you know, I'm from the South. They make fun of me because, you know, I kind of have like a little bit of a Southern accent. Country Jack. There we go. There's a name right there. Now, what is Country Jack? Country Jack's about three guys that have been told they're just not good enough. So what do? We go out there and we take it. That's what Country Jack is. That's not taking any crap from anybody, knowing what we want, working for what we want, and going out there and taking it.
Now, the loaded question for me, the 3-2 pitch. You have the reference to Jimmy Rave Approved. You have the reference to Country Jack. Do you think, now, being an Alabama fan personally, Roll Tide, I was kind of digging the houndstooth gimmick with Alabama attitude. However, do you feel that, and like I said, preface by saying, I'm not saying anything negative, I am saying more positive than negative, period. Do you feel that the name Alabama Attitude pigeonholed you and Posey?
Alabama Attitude was thrown together. And it was actually Adam Roberts and TC Carnage was the original Alabama Attitude.
Okay.
Alabama Attitude is kind of in a way similar to Country Jack when it comes to like work ethic and the Alabama Dynasty and the Roll Tide Bear Bond Dynasty and everything. And it's just that for that moment that what it was good. But I feel like this is 10 times better than good. You know, good is good. Good is, you know, hey, you know, what do you think about if I wear this tonight? Okay, that's good. You know, great is, or I don't want to say great, but like when you have something special, you can't put a word to it.
Right.
You know?
It's an it factor.
Like, yes, exactly. And the Alabama Attitude thing was trying to figure out who we are and who we were. That's all. The whole time is, you know, I'm a big Alabama fan, but I'm not one of those cocky Alabama fans that screams "Roll Tide" every 5 seconds, or in a movie theater you hear somebody say something and then they go "Roll Tide." I'm not that guy. I'll watch a football game and I'll be like, okay, Iron Bowl game. I was at the house drinking a beer. As soon as the game was over, I turned the TV off, went to the gym. I was that pissed. I didn't say a word. Just went to the gym. and that's it. I had my grievance at the gym. I worked out, got it out of my system, and I was done. I think Alabama attitude was good for what it was. And if there was ever a chance to go back to it, yeah. But now I feel like I'm better off doing what I'm doing now than what I was then. And that might hurt somebody's feelings somewhere, but it is what it is.
Where have you not gone yet that you really want to go work? Not necessarily because of the company, but because of the geographic region and or the fan base.
PWG.
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
If you get me in California, you will never see me again.
Wrong. I'd send you an email going, I got $5 waiting on you and a 12-pack of crystals.
I'm just saying, all of the Fontaine Oil honeys out there. Corey Hollis is a single man now, ladies. So, I'm just kidding, though. But I would really love to go to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, just for the simple fact of I see all my friends that are there, and they're having so much fun, And there's a lot of dream matches, to the fans, and the guys are just having fun, And that's what wrestling is. If you're not having fun, get out. But that's why I really want to get there, is because all my friends are having fun, and it looks just like it's a great time and everything else. That, there's other places that I have in mind that I would like to go, but at the same time, I feel like I've done a lot in so little time, and that I really want to, relax and appreciate what I have now, instead of jumping from one place to another place to another place to another, if that makes any sense.
Wicked Nemesis, one more round with Corey Hollis.
What is your best road story to date?
Oh, man. I don't know, because now I don't ride with anybody's funny. Maybe that time you yelled at Jack in the Box. That was pretty funny.
Oh, dear God. You and Christian Haim. No. Okay, hold on. Okay. I want you to tell this story. My listeners on the To Be Determined show, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, on Beyond Ringside Radio Network, have heard this story. And there are people listening right now that have heard this story. Corey Hollis, the original Corey Hollis, the wrestling juggernaut. Tell them your side of this story, please.
Jack in the Box employees are really lazy, and Jeremy called them out on their laziness. That's really what it was. I really don't remember the details. I just remember you yelling at them. I'm like,
remember, I didn't have my glasses, and I couldn't get out. I had to get out to read the menu, and he flipped out on me.
Yeah, I was like, that was awesome. I don't know. I had a bunch of fun stories that I really can't talk about, but that was probably one of the good ones. Me and
Corey Hollis almost died in Atlanta because Corey looked at me and said, "Hey, man, I've got to take my insulin." We had a rule in my car. He couldn't take his insulin in my car. He could do it before he got in. I have a thing for needles, and yes, I've had certain places pierced. Okay, I had a Prince Albert, and I had a bunch of other piercing stuff, and I have tattoos.
Ew! I didn't know that. I could not know that.
Shut up! I could not stand needles.
TMI.
Corey Hollis gets in my car and he's like, "Oh man, I've got to take my insulin." I was like, "Corey, you can't do that." The sound of Corey's ass stabbing himself with that needle, I can still hear. I can close my eyes and I can hear it. I about passed out. We were doing 85 on the way to Cornelia, Georgia, 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, it was. Was it Cornelia that we went to?
Yes, it was when we were doing Anarchy, because we were taking that loop around the Weather Channel building.
Oh, I don't remember. I get dropped on my head a lot.
and I'm the one that's supposed to have a bad memory. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Neither of you have a bad memory. I've spoken with both of you. Neither of you had a bad memory.
Bad Eddie.
I got a lot of them.
And dude, I hate to tell you this week, whenever you make that psh, psh sound effect, it actually sounds like a bong pipe starting up. Never mind. However, I got a double whammy for you. War Games matchup on the horizon. And this is going to be an out of nowhere circumstance because of this reason. Give me 4 partners that you would choose with whom you have worked. And on the other side of the coin, 4 partners you would choose with whom you have never worked.
So the guys on my team are the guys I've worked?
No, you're picking 2 different teams. One of your teams is people with whom you've worked. Your other team is people with whom you have not worked.
Am I on this team?
Well, of course you are. You're the captain of the. You're picking the team. You're the captain of the damn thing.
Okay, so it'd be me, AJ, Adam, Gallows, and one more, right?
5.
5, me, AJ, Adam, Gallows.
Okay, for those who don't know, tell everybody who Adam is. Give a last name.
Adam Page.
Thank you.
Page. John Schuyler.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a really good country jack stable right there. And then against Prince Devitt, Young Bucks, Hero, and Steen.
Okay. Now, pick your team with 4 people with whom you have not worked.
Oh, who I've not worked.
Correct.
My team. Ricochet. Hawk.
Okay.
I can pick those guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Hawk. Roddy. Because I haven't worked him yet.
As in Roderick Strong?
Yes.
Okay.
And Kurt Angle. Against...
You don't have to worry about an opposition team. I was concentrating mainly on your partners. Like I said, on that squad.
Okay. Against Swan, Rich Swan.
Okay.
Who else? Rich Swan, ACH.
Nice.
Trying to think. Oh, I don't know, man. That's hard. Put the Young Bucks in there too. So.
Actually,
yeah, that'd be a really good hot match.
Actually, considering that the lineup you just named off, I'm surprised you didn't throw Decade in there because I think Whitmer would be a solid adversary on that one.
Who?
BJ.
Oh, okay. I think that'd be good.
And Jimmy Jacobs, God knows, don't blink sometimes.
No, he doesn't. He's a devil.
First off, Corey, thank you for taking the time to come on. Dude, it is always a pleasure. It is hard to believe an hour has flown by. What have you got coming up on the horizon?
This weekend I'll be at PWX in North Carolina. Saturday we have a show in Concord, and Sunday we have Winston-Salem. Next weekend I'll be up in Empire Pro Wrestling up in Rossville, Georgia, Chattanooga area. That's the best way I can remember. And then the week after that, I'll be in Pelham March 1st. And after that, I really can't remember after that.
Okay.
You're lucky I got first 3 weeks in.
So the 15th is North Carolina.
15th and 16th is North Carolina.
Okay. 22nd?
Is Chattanooga area.
Okay.
I'm in Chattanooga area next weekend.
And Saturday, March 1st is Pelham, Alabama at the Civic Complex for Global.
Yes, which will be awesome because I will only have to drive 15, 20 minutes.
You and me both. You and me both.
That's refreshing.
You and me both. Kiss my ass.
Hey, dude,
at least I got a place to stay in Pelham. Boom!
So do I. It's called my house. I live in Pelham, ding dong.
Oh, I know that. That was
and even before that, I lived in Alabaster, one city down. It's like the Pelham Civic Complex is like 12 minutes from my front door. And if anybody brings up the idea of going to that place on 119 Cahaba Valley Road that has the bright orange shorts, I'm just going to put a bullet in your head right then. I will not walk in that place.
I don't go to Hooters.
I wasn't going to say the name.
I hate that place.
You win. Real quick, how can everybody track you down on social media?
On social media, you can find me on my Twitter at Corey Hollis. If you can find me on Facebook, awesome. I try to keep that, really try to keep that just family-oriented, but if, I don't promote my wrestling on Facebook. Twitter is the best way to, get in touch with me, and, if you have any questions, I'll answer those on Twitter. So just at Corey Hollis, and easy to find. I'm the only Corey Hollis on there.
Corey, thank you again for coming on tonight, dude. Always a pleasure, and I want to have you come back on again somewhere down the road.
Thank you, guys. I love being around.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest and friend of the family. I can use both of those on him. Country Jacked, Corey Hollis, has once again gone beyond ringside. Hang with us. We'll be back in 5. This is Beyond Ringside Back to Basics on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Oh, yes! This is Paul Bearer, and some people call me Percy Pringle III. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
All bad things must come to an end. The world's most notorious rock band is saying goodbye forever. Dodge presents Motley Crue, the final tour, with very special guest Alice Cooper. Friday, August 15th, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Motley Crue, the final tour. For more info and tour dates, visit motley.com.
Hey, everybody out there in Radio Land, this is Gavin Loudspeaker, a.k.a. Loud and Noxious, from the world of Chikara and Kaiju Big Battle, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
GCW Pro Wrestling comes to the Pelham Civic Complex in Pelham, Alabama, Saturday, March 1st for March Mayhem WrestleFest 2014. Already signed to appear, former WWE, now TNA star MVP, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. Ladies Championship on the line as Amber O'Neal challenges the Island Girl Tracy Taylor. 8 big matches in all. Bell time set for 7:30 p.m. Tickets start at $15 and are available through Ticketmaster. Be sure to check out GCWPro.com, and we'll see you on March 1st for Global Championship Wrestling.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It takes 12 years to create a graduate. It takes about the same time to create a dropout. And at the end of the day, the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be you. So United Way is asking you to make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because when a child advances, we all advance. Be a reader, tutor or mentor. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge now at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up? Holla at your boy. XOXOXO. You getting these texts? Question mark. Where are you? What are you doing? OMG, you are making me mad. You better text me back. I'm waiting outside your house.
Relentless, aggressive texting is like sending an angry robot to deliver your message. When does the robot become dangerous? Let us know at that'snotcool.com.
That'snotcool.com.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline. Yes, Mom? I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment. Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Mom, what? Huh? What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
You and your family are connected by routine, and you stick to it.
But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if your day's routine is disrupted and you can't reach your family? Have you planned for that? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, be ready. Get a kit. Make a plan. Be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
This is the sound of a flat-screen television hurled off a building. Now the new bike your kid wants. These are the things you could have, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Use Energy Star light bulbs and appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Let me try.
Okay, just remember what I showed you.
Yep. There was a bunny who had one big ear and another big ear. They looped-a-looped, made a bow, and the bunny hopped away. I did it!
Oh, good job, kiddo. Now let's tie your other shoe.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck for Dave 2037 so he can buy anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman. What are you getting Steve 2037?
Steve 2037 will be just fine.
Well, okay, but don't expect to borrow my anti-gravity boots.
Save something for the future. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
This year, firefighters will battle thousands of wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But a single ember that escapes can travel more than 1 mile where it can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Prepare, protect, prevail. Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you could take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Can you tell if the leftovers from this dinner party are beginning to grow bacteria that could lead to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps? Listen. You can't see it either. Get leftovers into the refrigerator as soon as possible. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Mark Anthony for Red, recording artist, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in my life, but nothing is more important than life itself. So choose a designated driver. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
How I long to hear you sing beneath the clear blue skies.
Welcome back into Back to Basics. Beyond Ringside, Tuesday night. Fast Eddie Lane, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. Special thank you to Mark Mabo Bowman for coming on during the first hour this evening. Thank you to Robert Cosper for coming on during the first evening. Wick, a pleasure to have you on this evening. And a very special thank you to Country Jacked Corey Hollis for coming on with us tonight. You know, we're with everything that's going on. And I open this box, so to speak. I open this can of worms. I always feel funny using the term opening Pandora's box when you're here. Because she is a member of the Merchants of Death, and I don't want the entire Merchants of Death ready to kick my ass.
Wait a minute. Is she? Is she? Because I'm a little confused now. Maybe she isn't. You never know. She probably isn't. Stop wearing the mask, bitch.
Oh, damn.
I can say that. That's like that's in the
Sniz app. Now,
I just totally did the Addams Family.
We're almost in sync there. We're going to work on that.
Well, I think there's just a little delay because there's like a 2-second delay in what you say and what I say. It's like high definition and standard TV. If you watch something on high definition, then you flip it over to standard, there's a little bit of delay.
I thought you were going to say high definition and standard tag teams.
Back again. Check it, direct it, let's begin. See.
There you go.
People, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house. Jump for joy. See, what is the next thing I'm going to sing? I've rapped. I've done classic rock, which obviously will never see the light of day.
Which one will never see the light of day?
The Elton John that you and I did back and forth.
I thought we did that. I thought I put that up.
No, that has not been put up.
When was that?
That has not been put up. You son of a bitch. That was in Palmerdale. That was hilarious.
No,
that was a great exchange. You actually quoted that. You quoted that when JBL was like, "I don't like that announcer talk over me."
I know.
But yet you quoted that exact conversation, but yet you can't put it up. That's foul. Is that going to go on the DVD? No. And why am I not on the March 1st? I should have been all over that TV spot. Look at me.
Hey, Wick. I'm going to go and give everybody the scoop on this one who's listening right now at 10 minutes after the top of the hour, this 11th day of February 2014. I created that one for the primary television market. I'm referring to the television commercial for Global Championship Wrestling's March 1st show, WrestleFest 2014. I am going to go back, and the rest of the front office doesn't know this yet. I'm going to create another one, which is going to be match specific. So for Wicked Nemesis saying there's not enough me in there, as in not enough him, I will actually be doing one to include the Wicked Nemesis on there. So are you?
We can all rejoice. What about that? Behind the curtain, 411 views.
Nice.
The second most watched behind the curtain to date, but only behind Micah Taylor. And second of all, that's only been up since when, Eddie? Since like Friday?
The one with Damon?
Yeah.
Over a week and a half.
A week and a half. Okay, a week and a half. A week and a half. Micah's been up for like 3 or 4 weeks. We're right behind him. Look, go to Fast Eddie Lane. Isn't it on your Fast Eddie Lane?
It's on Facebook.com/GCW Pro Wrestling and Facebook.com/GCW Pro. It's also on the GCWPro.com media page.
What about the YouTube? What's the YouTube?
No, you can get to it on the media page at GCWPro.com. I've got them all posted over there.
Look at that. That is an amazing interview by yours truly. I was doing my best James Lipton. And a lot of people are like, did you drop your glasses? No, they actually fell off my leg. And yes, that is a size 15 shoe that you see. Gucci!
Now, what he's referring to is, if you haven't had a chance to see it, go to GCWPro.com and check out the media page. You will find the series called Behind the Curtain. And there was one in particular that recently unloaded that Wicked Nemesis hosted instead of Robert Cosper because of the interview with Damon Christopher. And I'll say Damon Christopher / Damon Taz. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, it's a great piece. I enjoyed watching it, and I've watched it more than once, actually, but since I logged in from my account name, it doesn't count as more than one view. And that's when you get a chance to do something like that, and I'm almost envious of you on that one, but see, I've also had Damon on BR, just like you've had him on TBD, and you have those opportunities, and you never know when someone's career is going to be cut short. And that's why I say from the get-go, I have been blessed to be around the sport and the business, I use both, of professional wrestling for as long as I have. And I tell everybody that I'm around to enjoy the moment, respect yesterday, live for today, plan for tomorrow. Plain and simple. Because you have to genuinely be able to respect and appreciate the moments that you have, both inside and outside of the ring. Because we never know, there could be what happened with Damon, a situation come into play where he hurt his back and had to retire from in-ring competition.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hold on. First of all, Eddie, Damon hurt his back and didn't tell anybody.
True. He's like us.
You know when we found out the last time that GCW was in Georgia, he come tenderly, like, kind of holding his back, and he told Doom and myself, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're breaking kayfabe. I mean, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Doom and I are, I love Doom. I consider him like a little brother, and he is under the Merchants of Death umbrella, whether anybody gives a crap or not. Sorry, guys." But we're sitting there talking, and he comes up, and he's like, And for anybody that's had an injury, you know when somebody else is injured. Not
Yes.
hurt, but injured. And he was kind of gingerly walking around. I was like, man, you okay? He's like, man, my back. And I looked directly at Doom, and Doom has like maybe 3 faces. He has surprised Doom, he has laughing Doom, and he has pissed off Doom. So he gives me the confused Doom, like kind of turns his head like a damn dog. Like, so and then we kind of confirmed, like, hey, you're back? I mean, how long? He's like, man, I heard it a few weeks ago. He didn't say when, but he said he heard it a few weeks ago.
I knew exactly when he heard
last
it.
Year.
I knew exactly when he heard it because I remember the bump that occurred.
But then he ends up doing the match in September, October, where he takes the kick from O'Hagan, aka Blur, to the outside, and then he couldn't get up.
Right.
And that's when I rushed to him.
That aggravated the hell out of the injury that was already there. I know.
Exactly, but that because he had told us that day that he was hurting that day, and when the spot come up, like, he was done. And I told Josh, like, thank God, most guys would have went ahead and did the moonsault that was supposed to happen, but I looked at Josh, and you get that look, and he knew that something was wrong.
Right.
I didn't have to throw up the X. I didn't have to be like, no, don't do the spot. Damon, sir, he knew. Thank God. Because all it took was just eye contact to be like, no. And he instantly, they went on with the match. But Damon hid that from everybody. Because last year, the Unlucky Charms, it has been a long time since any tag team that I know of has had that type of run. Not just with one company, but with several companies.
Right.
And in singles competitions, and in other states in some time. I mean, I know it's happened, but it's been some time since it was that prevalent, and in the future, or as this close to us as it has been. But he hit it because he thought that it was going to damage the Unlucky Charms. He thought that if he told everybody, that it would put a halt to it, not knowing that the longer he went with it, it actually put a halt to his career.
Right.
And it could have been worse. He could be paralyzed.
It
was that bad.
It was. I mean, because he and I spoke behind the scenes, and I was able to add, and trust me, even though I'm a product of the Jefferson County Public School System, I can add. I had to throw that one in there. I'll get my shot at Jefferson County. I live in Shelby County. Screw it. But it, having seen so many different types of situations and knowing to look not necessarily at the face, but look at the eyes the way I do. Because you can mask pain with a facial expression sometimes. You can't mask pain in the eyes, physical or otherwise. But I would like to say this. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Damon Christopher, Damon Taz, Damon Harrison. I mean, good friend, longtime friend, both in and out of the ring, and his presence at the shows, inside, whether it be working or not, is missed. And I'm glad that he is starting a new chapter and realize at the point where I always sit back and say family comes first. And unfortunately, it's sometimes for a lot of us, it takes moments like he went through to realize how valuable family is and how valuable close friends are. I mean, so as he started that chapter, it's kind of like my thoughts and prayers definitely stick with him and his family. It's like to be able to enjoy it and to continue to try to get himself healthy all over again. So,
well, I'm gonna say this: a lot of people, I've been catching a lot of flack for this, but for anybody that has kids that have kids up your ass constantly, let me tell you something. I would have hit the back injury too to get them away from some of these kids. You know what it's like? These kids are animals. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm taking time off because that's because his daughter's young." Whatever. I've got 3 kids. This youngest one, I'm telling you right now, the devil. This little girl's the devil. She heard me talking to Tasha earlier. She starts screaming, Tasha, starts spitting potato chips because she wants to talk about some stupid crap. Take her. She's the devil. Look at her. She looks just like me, but acts just like, you. She's Bin Laden. I hope NSA don't all of a sudden start wiretapping the Turpin Show and Beyond Ringside.
Thanks.
But yes, Damon was like, hey, family comes first. I'm trying to get the hell away from these damn things. They're like critters. If they rolled up into a ball, I'd be screwed. They'd kill us all.
No, it'd be tribbles. I'm always skittish using the word critters in this day and age.
Well, you've seen Critters.
Hi, Billy. Hi, Jamie.
Show where they'd ball up and they'd roll over and eat everything.
Yeah, I know.
That's my damn kids. And them being out of school, they're killing us. They're eating everything.
Yeah, I know.
All my damn Pringles. Get away from my Pringles. They've eaten my chips. They've eaten my pretzels. These asses. All my Gushers. All my sour Gushers are gone. My vanilla Cokes are gone. Take them.
I was watching the promo. Hard segue for a second. I was watching the promo for the Mr. WrestleMania DVD set. And I have to ask myself, as someone who has every WrestleMania DVD and over half of them on VHS still. Okay, just under half of them on VHS still. What can this DVD set possibly show me to make me want to spend that money on that DVD set when I've got WrestleMania on DVD? Have you ever just had a moment like that? It's like, why are they doing this considering the fact that I've got the WrestleMania set? Wick?
It's all about the money. They're like, well, there's some schmo out there. It's like, hey, you know what they're going to do? They're going to have Shawn Michaels sit down with his cockeyed. I'd rather, go smoke a J with Robert Gibson than to sit down and watch Shawn Michaels DVD with his bad eye. At least Robert Gibson knows how to pass, puff, give. Look, Shawn Michaels is making money. He's out shooting deer. He's out hanging out with Duck Dynasty and bull crap. Shawn Michaels, man, don't buy the DVD. We need to start having a segment on the To Be Determined show about all of the DVDs that come out. All this wrestling crap that comes out. And thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm giving this a thumbs down. Plain and simple. Mr. WrestleMania, my ass. Taker streak, my ass. They're never going to let anybody beat Taker. They're never going to let Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania. Okay. He walked out on the company. Yeah, he had a back injury. His back injury wasn't as bad as what they said it was.
Of course not.
It's all a work. Just like when everybody's like, well, Kevin Nash blew out his quads running across the ring. No, he didn't, you asses. That was a work. He did that because, first of all, and people are not going to understand this unless you're in the business. First of all, his entrance music was cut down by 45 seconds.
Right.
With somebody that tall and somebody that has that luster, somebody coming back as Diesel, a.k.a. Kevin Nash, whatever. The entrance music, look, your pyro, your entrance music, your entrance, all of that, all of that is timed.
Of course.
All of that is timed by WWE. And people don't understand, Kevin Nash asking for a longer entrance meant that he wanted to have that swagger, he wanted to have that walk, to the ring, as he should have been at that time. And also, he wanted more money. So what do? Do you go out and bust your ass for a company, or do you feign blowing 2 quads and sit for the next year and get paid? Kevin Nash is a lot smarter than people give him. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Kevin Nash was smarter than
Kevin.
Exactly.
Kevin Smith's the man. Kevin Smith is the man. Jesus Christ. Get that man. As soon as I hang up, you know what I'm doing? No, I hear you. I'm not watching Disney Channel, Lily. Leave me alone, you and your damn Disney Channel. No. Phineas and Ferb, no. I'm listening to Fat Man on Batman with Neil Adams, Part 3.
There you go.
As soon as I hang up with this. So.
Yeah, it's funny because you and I were talking off air, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, and I know that we get, every once in a while we get slightly heckled for going off in different directions, but lo and behold, I'm looking for the return of the Midnight Black Mass and Get Your Pulls from good friend of ours, the Reverend Dan Wilson. Everybody longtime listeners know that the site was called PODDY Humor, which that site is temporarily down. I spoke to Dan Wilson earlier today. He said the site is under maintenance right now, and they're going to be bringing it back at a future time. The sooner, the better. Also, but special shout out, I really hate that term, a very special hello to good friend of the family, Reverend Dan Wilson. So keep us posted, keep us in the loop, let us know what's going on with the site and both shows. Get Your Pulls, comic book fans, you know about that show. If you're a comic book fan and don't know about that show, look it up. Look it up in 10 minutes when we sign off the air. I was about to say, look it up now. No, look it up in 10 minutes after we sign off. But also, I've got some great friends who who had been listening to the Midnight Black Mass, myself included. I'm a friend of myself every once in a while. Even though I hate myself for who I am, I'm still a friend of myself every once in a while, especially about 2 o'clock in the morning, especially when I'm asleep. That almost went somewhere, but I was not smart enough to be able to pull that off completely.
Hello. That sounds like a masturbation joke to me. It's okay. It's okay. It's past FCC time. It's almost 10:30 at night. We can get away with masturbation because we're all adults here. Because if you're a kid listening to this right now, what are you doing and where are your parents?
You forget we're on replay and we're podcasted.
Holy crap, yes, because I always think live. I think, if you don't listen to people like, oh man, you did a great promo in Pelham. Let me tell you something. That was a great promo. I can't believe you said this and that and yada yada and blah blah blah. I tell everybody this. When I cut a promo, it's gone into the ether. I forget every promo as soon as I cut it, it's gone. I don't care. I don't hang out in my own reality. I get my head so far up my ass I can see what I tasted 3 weeks ago. But I don't for a second remember any of my little promos. So I understand. It's okay, Eddie. It's okay. But Black Mass, Reverend Dan needs to move that to Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Oh, I'd
Reverend
love it.
Dan, I know you listen to this sometimes, and Eddie had this idea, but he didn't want to tell you. This is my pitch to Reverend Dan. You're a genius. You're a managerial genius. Bring it to Beyond Ringside. We already have a radio network here with Cause and Effect. We have the To Be Determined show. We have Back to Basics. We have Beyond Ringside, the namesake. But not only that, also next Tuesday, Back to Basics, so far confirmed, Bass Eddie Lane, Aaron Camaro, Nathan Hamilton, and we're working on Taylor Knight. Let me tell you something. Taylor McKnight, these guys, this is going to be an amazing color commentary. We're going to talk about the art of the play-by-play. We're going to talk about the art of color commentating.
And don't
live
forget,
on Back to Basics.
Don't forget, we've also talked about, you've got the invitation out for Mark Mabo Bowman to come on that one as well.
Mabo is not going to do it. Mabo is going to be so juiced up on pills, and he's going to be pilled up and playing DC Online, beating the crap out of everybody.
You know, one of these days,
Mabo, please. We look forward to you calling.
You know,
thank you for calling me.
You know, there's going to come a time when I actually move into the modern era and actually buy a Sega Genesis. You're making the reference to the video game, so I had to go with the old video game. Okay, I should have said PlayStation 2.
I still have Nintendo 64 hooked up. I have a PlayStation 2 hooked up. We have a Wii hooked up. We have a PlayStation 3. And on top of that, at my mom's house, my son has a Dreamcast hooked up.
Nice.
And a PlayStation. So, yeah, I understand. And I used to mess around with this redhead, because, of course, it's got to be a redhead in college, that stole my Nintendo. That whore. Damn redheads. What is it? You people! You're like a race of like Gentile, ancestral, subhuman, subculture chuds. I love them. Can't get enough of them.
Yeah, no, me and redheads, I get in serious trouble whenever.
Shut your mouth! Don't come trailing on my turf of redheads.
Dude,
this will be like what is it for Grease? What were the two gangs on Grease?
The T-Birds and
Nerd Alert! Nerd Alert! I don't know.
Dude, John Travolta's a hero, okay? Of course I'm going to remember the T-Birds.
He's also gay, allegedly.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Boo. Whoa.
What? Where?
Where?
Dude,
whoa.
I'm sorry. I will say it like this. As Vinnie Barbarino, John Travolta ruled. And this is where I am a nerd. John Travolta, Ron Palillo, Robert Hedges, and Lawrence, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
The Sweat Hogs.
Yes.
Boom! See, and I'm 34. Eddie's what, 40?
I'm 40. I'm 48.
He's 48. Welcome Back, Cotter, and Barney Miller. Great shows. Nick at Night, when Nick at Night used to actually still be on Nickelodeon. Remember that when it was actually Nick at Night on Nickelodeon?
Yes, I remember that.
I love Barney Miller.
Hal Linden, Max Gale, Ron Glass, Abe Vigoda, Jack Sue. I can't remember who the taller guy who wore the glasses was, but yeah, I remember that. And yes,
Abe Vigoda. genius.
Fish.
I love that guy.
Oh, dude, he had one of the best deliveries in acting, period. Speaking of, I watched Castaway last night. T-Birds and the Scorpions. Thank you, Daryl B.
Daryl, thank you, Daryl.
I watched Castaway
The
last.
English guy to be like. Pfft.
Oh, by the way, and he wanted me to interject the fact that he's a redhead too.
Redheaded women. Let's
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Redheaded
Chris
women.
Knox and Damon are both redheads. So, and Tasha, ugh.
Yeah, careful, dude.
She's a redhead too, but ugh.
Beetlejuice,
Oh, God.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't let me call her whore, because then next thing you know, somebody be trying to swing a damn pool stick on me, damn dyke. Allegedly.
Crack. 2 balls, center pocket.
Man, no! Let me tell you something. I about had to fight my way to Nashville. Thank God Christopher Dyron Flynn had my back. It was going to be me and Dyron Flynn against everybody.
Yeah.
Called Dyron the Dyrinator, because he had my back. And he is built like a brick crap house, so.
It just hit me a second ago. I'm trying to remember Shirley Temple passing away. We lost another of the all-time greats.
Who cares? There's only one curly redhead that I give a crap about, and it's not Shirley Temple. Because I thought that girl was dead a long time ago.
No, she's still very much alive.
No, she's not.
You're right. Not anymore. I said she was. No, I did. I said is. I'm sorry.
Temple.
That was funny.
That was great, Eddie. You just walked right into that one.
I did. I didn't walk. I pogo sticked in that sumbitch.
You pogo sticked into it. Oh my God! Nobody knows what a pogo stick is anymore. You might as well say you rollerbladed into it.
Better yet, I rode a unicycle.
A unicycle? No, I hoverboarded into it. Where's our hoverboards? 2014, no lightsabers, no hoverboards. This is some bullcrap. Damn you, Hollywood. See, this is why the Muslims hate us, because we didn't give them their hoverboards.
No hoverboards.
And I'm about to go so ham it's going to be kosher. I'm telling you.
I'm waiting on this. I know you too well. Do me a favor. Let's take it to the Radio Ranch. Wicked Nemesis, do me a favor. Throw me some last calls, or what's on your brain from the week that was, or week that is.
Well, I missed Monday Night Raw, but tomorrow night on the To Be Determined show, Miss Rachel is going to let loose. Very opinionated, as most English people are. Miss Rachel has spent a lot of time in the United States, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this. If Matt comes on and if she's on the same time, yeah, there going to be a lot of panties and a lot of jock straps wet, because these two right here are going to be, hello, love, and they're talking about nata pata and all this crap. This is going to be awesome, because it's 2 complete different sections of England, too, that they're from. Oh, yes, I know. I'm not a stupid American. I know the difference. England's not just London, you dumbasses. But we're going to talk about fetish matches. We're going to talk about customs matches. My column for Alabama Wrestling is going to be up very, very soon. Wrestling Aphrodite will be up very, very soon. But I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with a column. I'm thinking about going fetish matches. I'm thinking about going Medusa, because a lot of people... It may be on fetish matches and the differences in the fetish matches, because it's not just fetish matches. You know, people do these topless matches. They do this, they do that. But there are some out there that just do regular matches. And we're going to probably discuss that in Wrestling Aphrodite. But tomorrow night, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Myself, hopefully Eddie, 3-time NWA Women's World Champion Tasha Simone, and Matt Denton will be live. And we're going to just run Miss Rachel through the ringer. We're going to talk to her about the controversy that occurred with her and Calm Like a Bomb Pandora. Yes, we're going to touch all the buttons with the dirty whore. But that's just how we do it. Eddie, you know how it goes, and it's going down very, very soon. So, and also February 22nd, Pell City. March 1st, Pelham Civic Complex. Holy crap. I'm just going to lay my testicular fortitude out on the table. It's going to be a hell of a day for the Unlucky Charms and a hell of a month for the Unlucky Charms. We will win the Junkyard Dog Memorial Tournament. Say what you want to. There is going to be something up my sleeve. I turn so many tricks, you can call me Trick Turner, sir.
As long as we don't call you Brick Tamlin, right?
Brick Helmet, yes. And at Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. Also, you can contact a few of my friends out there. Go out, anybody that I talk to, anybody I communicate with, make sure you follow them, even if they have a locked Twitter account. Yes, they may have the codes to NORAD out there, and it may just because they have crazy ass ex-husbands that want to shoot everybody because they think that they can. But just go out and follow them. Thank you all.
Yeah, I think I tried to follow somebody who thought I was high the other night, and I don't know. I haven't looked back to see if they followed me or if they let me follow them or not. Short version of the story, I started out the night, and I've had a chance to do a little bit of thinking. This is my last call real quick. I made the comment, I have watched Raw twice all the way through, start to finish, because the first time that I watched it, I'm sitting back going, did they really get it this right? After what they've been doing in the previous few weeks? Or is it my eyes playing tricks on me? Or should I have actually smoked a blunt? From start to finish last night, the placement was good. I'm not going to go, it was great. I'm going to say it was good. The placement, the match order, the way that they had the segments laid out and set up. The only thing, and this is something that I'm going to draw heat for, and I'm not sorry for this, I'm going to tell the truth. It became old very quick the number of times that John Layfield would step over Michael Cole, would talk over the top of him. And I like John Layfield as a color commentator. I like Jerry Lawler as a commentator, and Michael Cole I don't want to see drawn and quartered anymore. That's the easy way for me to say it. He's not in my top 5. He probably won't be in my top 10 for a while. But by the same token, he has come ever since the face turn that he did, or quit being so heel, I'll say it that way. He's actually gotten it right more often than not. And yes, that is a compliment, kids. But last night, I made the comment, last night they pulled the gimmick between the Shield and the Wyatts. Perfectly done. Wick, you would pop for this moment on that show. Plain and simple. Because of the fact that you had the Shield, they just wrapped up, and I'm going to go ahead and play spoiler. No, I'm not. I'm going to say, but go back and watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Because it didn't involve a ton of microphone work. It involved the moment. And I am a fan when you can create the moment. It doesn't matter if I'm on the show, not on the show, if I'm watching the show. I can be there. I can be on pay-per-view. I can watch it by pay-per-view. I can watch it on television. I can watch it on big screen. I am a fan of the moment. And what they did that last night created the moment. The match between John Cena and Randy Orton wasn't bad. It was pretty darn good. Even for a television main event with certain time constraints in play and two guys who normally have to figure out a way to carry each other every once in a while. Specifically Cena carrying Orton. WWE is at a crucial time right now. Chambers, a week and a half away. Mania, not that far. And they got a long way to go and a short time to get there. And I'm not going to end up with Smokey and the Bandits theme from Jerry Reed. I'm going to say they have to find a way to pull it together so that WrestleMania 30 looks as epic as they want it to be. Are my sights, are my standards, are my goals too high? Maybe. Are theirs too low? Maybe. I'm not dropping my standards. They need to elevate theirs. And that...
Eddie.
Yes.
Since you're playing spoilers, sir, for those that missed it, and obviously myself included, what was the finish of the Wyatts and Shield?
There was no match. It was a stare down.
What? That was it? What? Hold on. What was the moment? Set this moment up, if you will, sir. I know we're a little bit past the hour, but those that are listening, they don't give a crap right now. They're like, look, we're in for the long haul. So I want to hear this because I would love to look this up on YouTube if I gave a crap about it and talk about it tomorrow night because we have a loaded show tomorrow night. But what was the moment? Set us
Here
up,
is the
if
moment.
You will.
Okay, I'm going to take this one step at a time.
If you will. I got to take a drink since I said if you will.
If you will. Thank you very much. Oh, spiky-haired one, you.
Oh, spiky-haired mohawk.
He's a purple-haired mohawking motherfucker.
Uh-oh. Oh, hold on. Spiral's calling us. Yo, just guys, man. You talk about this, you wills, man. If I wills, man, I had planes flying over me, dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Kaboom.
Dogs.
Dogs.
Snozziness, man.
You sounded like you. That was a good Travolta, by the way.
I love Spiral. I love Spiral. Spiral's amazing, but he kills me. He kills me. I've done Spiral's imitation to his face, so don't be like, oh, you wouldn't do it to his face. Yo,
Yeah, you would.
Guys, man.
Look.
Backseat Passion Part 2, y'all.
Look, for those who do not genuinely know the Wicked Nemesis, if he's going to do a mimic of your voice, he's already done it to your face, or he's waiting on the next opportunity for you to hear it.
I've probably done it to your face, because most people I do. Like, my Fascinating Lady, I did Eddie, but I don't have the vest anymore. So, I can't do it.
Dude, you weren't, or I don't think you were there the night that Remy, who who now works with GCW Security, did a mimic of me with with the mock turtleneck, the black vest, the glasses, the microphone, and everything else. Even grew out a partial beard for it. I popped for this so huge, and I say the same thing now that I said to him that night. Thank you. I am humbled. I am honored for someone to take the time to do something like that. It just completely floored me, and I appreciated the moment. And once again, there's those words, the moment. Last night, Raw, U.S. title match, Mark Henry returning, challenging Dean Ambrose for the U.S. title. Match went outside the ring. The rest of the Shield interfered. Disqualification. Mark Henry disappears. The Shield is jumping back over the rail to go back toward, the steps. Then Wyatt's music hit. I mean, it's the full new intro. Instead of the side view of the lantern, it's a different view of the lantern, and it's a recut. We're here. They come all the way down to the edge, to the bottom part of the rampway, not to the ring, but you got about 10 feet away from the ring. They show them stopping. Bray tosses the lantern down. Lo and behold, you cut over, and the Shield is still there. Roman Reigns does the gimmick about popping the vest and jumps over the rail. Here come the rest of the Shield. Here comes Ambrose. Here comes Rollins. They're standing outside the ring on the floor, opposite where the Wyatts are. Well, here we go. That move has been made. Here come the Wyatts moving up to the edge of the ring, still on the floor. Not a word has been said on a microphone. Then you've got a stare down going back and forth. Once again, they're on the floor. Roman Reigns and the Shield step up on the apron. You've got a stare down in progress again. Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family climb up on the apron. The crowd is loving this. Dude, once again, this is a moment in time for WWE. They got it right. And it continues. Roman Reigns, once again, little pop of the vest, climbs through the ropes, stands right there. I'm here. Bray Wyatt leans through the ropes like he's going to climb in and stops and smiles and goes back out. Taps the other two, taps Rowan and Martin or Luke Bryan and Kenny Chesney. And sorry, I had to do that out of tribute to you for what you've been saying about Luke Bryan. And
did you just say Rowan and Martin?
Yes, I did.
Nobody gets that laugh in. Our 155-year-old listener gets that joke. That is amazing. That is awesome. That is probably your funniest thing you've ever said in your life. We should end the show right now with a Rowan and Martin laugh-in joke.
We need to build in that's what Easter eggs are originally meant to be, dude. The Easter egg segment when we out cue.
Easter egg. Here's an Easter egg right here, Eddie. Here's an Easter egg. There will be a new member of the Unlucky Charms before you know it. Second of all, I'm going to take my size 15 foot. I'm going to shove it so far down. Calm like a bomb Pandora's throat. It's unbelievable. I'm going to beat the crap out of her. Someday, somehow, she's going to pay for what she did to Damon Christopher. Not only did she trip him, then she held his foot down to make him get eliminated.
Yeah.
So screw her. If she never wears another mask, I'll be happy. Because the only reason why she's anything in this business is because of me. Plain and simple. That girl owes her entire career to Steve Platinum and myself. Without us, she would be nothing.
Oh, short ending to the gimmick, by the way.
Sorry.
Like I said, Wyatt tapped Rowan and Martin, got them down onto the ground, and then they started backing up the ramp a little bit.
Everybody booed. Everybody booed.
Everybody booed, and then Ambrose and Rollins stepped inside the ropes to stand united with Roman Reigns, and you just had the stare down. Like I said, they got it right.
But please tell me that Husky Harris held them back. Please tell me that Bray Wyatt actually held them back. That Bray held them back. That they didn't just like stand there. That he was like, no.
No, they followed his direction. He didn't grab him or anything like that. He just it's like when came time for him to jump down off the apron, he tapped them both on the leg and said, "Drop down."
And see, I like that because that's like because he is that weird hybrid that we haven't seen in some time that manages and wrestles, and I like that. That's what I like about Bray. Bray follows under that weird hybrid of wrestler manager, and he does it so well because he has this occult appeal to himself and what he does with his guys, with the quote-unquote white family, but yet he can go in there. Holy crap, can that guy go?
Oh, God, yes.
Do not let his size fool you. He's like Mudbone, and I've always said this. He reminds me so much of Mudbone, it's unbelievable. Another underrated guy.
Very underrated. I'll agree to that 100%. But if you get a chance to watch it, I guarantee you're going to pop for it.
I might see it.
Yeah, you're going to pop for it because
I'll talk about it tomorrow night.
Okay. But if you get a chance to watch it, seriously, that one moment in and of itself got me out of my chair applauding and smiling because it was done right. I wish they could do that more often. Like I said, I'm not lowering my standards. WWE has to continue to raise theirs.
Amen.
Real quick, folks, want to remind everybody once again, let's run down the calendar. Tomorrow night, the To Be Determined show, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 Pacific, right here on Beyond Ringside Radio. Once again, Wicked Nemesis, Matt Denton, Tasha Simone, being joined by Miss Rachel. And I hate to use this phrase, but I'm going to. The fur's going to fly. Thursday night, Cause and Effect present the Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. Robert Cosper, Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and the Silent Giant the Equalizer occasionally making a chat room appearance. Once again, that is 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. Mountain Time's in there somewhere. And immediately following Cause and Effect, Thursday night, Global Championship Wrestling Radio, GCW Radio returns, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. 7 Pacific, 8 Mountain. Had to get that in there. Make the mountain reference every once in a while. Hi, Ted. So definitely check us out. Wrestling fans in and around the Southeast, you are definitely going to want to listen this Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central to GCW Radio. 2 super shows on the way. I'll say it like this, a super show and the super card on the way. Be ready. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to mention a lot of what's going to happen on February 22nd, this Thursday, on GCW Radio. February the 13th. Thanks for playing. Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain Time. Pacific can catch up. Trust me on this one. The Saturday Showcase. Yours truly, Hitman Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, and the Cause and Effect, Robert Cosper, kicking the weekend into overdrive. And, of course, Beyond Ringside Live, the flagship Sunday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Try it again. 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific. I'll get it right one of these years. Better yet, screw it. No, I won't. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all upcoming show information. As the webmaster gets the guest information, he tries to get everything posted over on .com. Find, of course, on Twitter at Beyond Ringside. Slowly but surely, I'm remembering how to use Twitter at 140 characters. I'm having Wicked Nemesis give me Twitter lessons all over again.
You're a liar because you're on it more than I am now. That's amazing.
Not really. You make one post. You make 14 posts in an hour. I make one post in 14 days. Longtime friend Lightning Lee Peak, thank you for coming through the chat room this evening. Daryl B, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming to the chat room this evening. Mark Bowman, thank you. Robert Cosper, thank you. Country Jack Corey Hollis, thank you. Wick, always a pleasure, brother. Looking forward to tomorrow night on TBD. Folks, keep your eyes open once again. And by the way, quick reminders. YouTube replays are going to be becoming a little bit more prevalent. We are still simulcasting on Ustream, and I'm moving things over to YouTube as situations permit. So bear with us. YouTube.com/Beyond Ringside, I do believe, is the easy way to get there. Until next time, for those listening on the live side, thank you. To everybody listening on the replay at Beyond Ringside Radio, thank you. And to everybody downloading the podcast, thank you. For the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis,
make sure you pay your taxes, pay your bills, and tip me in the hundreds. Make it rain.
this is the Magic City Motor Mouth saying until next time, join us as we not only go Beyond Ringside, but on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, we just gotta go back to basics. Bye for now.
Next Tuesday, Super Commentary Group.
Ooh, wait, hold on, I'll bring the music back down. Wicked, go ahead and put all that out there real quick, one more time.
Next Tuesday, Super Commentary Group. I think Taylor McKnight's going to be involved in this. Make sure you join this. It will be the art. We did the art of refereeing. We're going to do the art of play-by-play and color commentary right here. This is something, because I guarantee you this, Eddie, after we do it, every mother is going to do it on every podcast. You mark my words. Same thing with the refereeing. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Eddie, for having me on.
Always a pleasure.
Good night. Good luck, sir. Thank you, sir.
Once again, we're out. Have a great night. Bye-bye.